Pog, let's go, man.
Play your song while you're waiting? No, I can't. Look at my double T combo. Double T combo. What happened to the drops? I don't know actually. I forgot to ask Riot. Fuck, you're right. I forgot to ask about the drops. Check the Discord emote channel. I'm not adding Stronge. Oh yeah, chat. World's predictions are available. World's predictions are available.
XDD Caedrel come.
Okay. CFO or DFM? I'm gonna say, I'll just say DFM, Utapon, Enjoyer, Basage. And I'm gonna say BDS, I think. Nice. Predictions are available. You can go to the Discord and you can vote for who you think's gonna win the series and win some prizes. Good luck, have fun. Have fun, good luck. I'm not voting on Team Wales. Team Wales, good. No. Alright, chat. So today's co-stream might be a little lower energy than normal because I can't really raise my voice in any way at all. I'm fucking dying out here. But we won't miss a day of Worlds. I don't care if I'm bleeding. We're not missing a day of Worlds. What is this?
Super shy, but wait a minute while I make your mind, make your mind. I lean and take them though you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make your mind, make your mind. I lean and take them though you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy.
Bro. Banger. Bro, I can do that dance so easy. If I wasn't sick. That dance is easy as fuck. That dance is easy as fuck. Hey. 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 Watch the T1 headquarters tour? No, I won't watch it. I will just get a tour when we get there. I'll make some content. What is that emote? Ga ga ga? The DFM top laner is 31 years old? Yeah, I know. What a legend. He's about to clap some people at 31. Younger than Pedro? That's not true.
G2 win Worlds G2 Rat Army.
Morning Pedro, yo, what's up, medic? Medic, I'm dying. Medic, there was someone who took your name in Mario Kart yesterday and sniped me on stream and called themselves Medic Casts. That was me. Nah, they were pretty good, so I don't know if it was you.
Hello Pedro, my GF broke up with me and I'm playing League and crying, what should I do? Who's winning this game?
I don't know who's winning this game, but stop playing League. Bro, I queued up for a game of League yesterday. That game...
Pog, let's go, man.
Big Rose one who never had a world record. Yeah,
Let's
I did.
Go.
I had a world record in Elden Ring. Most deaths upon completion. That was a GOAT record. Don't play League. I queued up for a game yesterday. It was the biggest waste of time ever. Like, honestly, what's the point? That game. Fuck that game. Instant mood killer. I'm so good at lead now. Are you climbing, medic? What? What elo are you? Master still? Still losing, but I'm smarter. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, are you getting coaching?
That's big.
You, me, Jamada, we join Rudy. We become the best UK team ever. Yeah, I'm roll swapping to mid after World's End. I'm roll swapping back to mid.
South Korea. Today it is time for Group B to take off, including the LEC's Team BDS, facing off against Team Wales from Vietnam,
Team
from the
Wales.
Ocean, or one of the 4 kingdoms in the United Kingdom in our second series of the day. I'm Quickshot, joined by
I'm gonna
GB,
climb
as
like
well as
fuck.
Mark Zimmerman. And Mark, I'm gonna come straight to you with a question. What genre would you classify gods?
That's what I was asking, because I don't know anything about music. I am probably the most...
2 years
I'm not an elo terrorist.
We've got
stumble onto this stage for anything.
pop, K-pop, operatic pop. Is that the orchestral
Stadium
pop?
anthems.
Stadium
Yeah,
anthems?
like...
Curate suit kinda nice.
Stop looking at me. I'm here to talk league, alright?
Talk
Don't ask
league,
me about
okay.
music.
Well then listen, yesterday
I like
Loud
Mark C's
upset
jumper, to be
over
honest.
Gam,
Of the
giving
3
you
fits,
all- I don't think upset's the right
that
word
jumper's
for this.
kinda
I think
nice.
the way they played, it was impressive.
Illy
Depends who
bumps.
you ask, you know. Gam,
I can't wait to watch my boy Utapon.
heavy favorites, you know.
Wait,
but
is
I think,
DFM
game
the
one for
oldest
that's why
team
he's
at
up
Worlds?
there.
Did they have Utapon on the 31-year-olds?
I think game
Oh,
one was
let's
actually.
go,
And then who's the youngest team?
overperforming, if you ask
Genji?
me, From what I've saw from
No.
the regular
Hi,
season, I
Dad.
think Loud had an amazing game on the Kaiser. I think game 2 was the game where.
Actually,
that's
this
a
I hope
normal
this
Loud
top laner
game
pops
that
off.
I watch
31
and
years
fails
old,
on
comes to
everything.
Worlds,
But
bro.
it's also
I'm
the classic
I'm
Gam
cheering
game
him
where
on.
They actually get
Oh,
the early game
let's go,
rolling
man.
for them.
Youth
And when they
Pond
read the
27?
mid-to-late-
Yeah, I know, but their top laner's
mid-to-late
31.
game, they
He
start
got
falling
subbed in
apart.
last
It's really
second.
cool to see the kind of
He wasn't
evolution
even
of the
planning
power
on playing
rankings
Worlds.
in the minor regions. The fact that Loud has really
Holy
climbed to
fuck.
the top of them recently. I think when traditionally Gam would have been the favorites, and that game 2
Oh,
comeback was
let's go,
really what
man.
solidified the fact that they
Apaman.
are really playing at a higher level.
No
than
more
Gam right
ads
now
for
because
Worlds
Oh
Let's
shit,
go.
bro,
they
the
should have been able to
Brazilian
close that
fans are
out.
going
They did a
hard.
Great play on the bot side to bring it back, and I think that's something that speaks to Loud moving forward through the
And I
tournament.
mean, they even have pirates supporting them in the stadium.
He has a
They're
wife
not
and a child,
lucky
yeah.
there,
How epic
dancing
is that?
around
What a
Robo,
legend.
The rest of Loud. The fact that they pick up that series win means it is now set up for 2 MSI rematches from Group A. It's R7 taking on Gam. Once
Oh, yeah, the
again
bracket. I
for
didn't see the bracket.
elimination, And it was 2-1 in favor of R7.
So today
MSI.
is,
Whereas PSG, they eliminated Loud last time 2-0.
Is the other group, right? The other side of the
I think
bracket.
The same could happen again, but maybe the way it plays out could be different, GB.
Yeah, I think these power rankings are going to continue to evolve. I think in the first series that PSG is still coming into that against Loud as heavy favorites. And for Loud to win that would completely shuffle the rankings around, because I do still think that PCS is the best of the minor regions we have around. I think the R7 versus
PCS
Gam
is the best
way
major
more
region.
a redemption time for Gam
I
coming
see
into
it.
it. They had a lot of roster changes. They need to prove
Check
that
the
now
latest
this is
Reddit
the
post.
testament where they can have a benchmark against R7 and say, if we beat them, at least we're better than we were in spring.
Yeah, for Rainbow 7, even though they lost
Oh,
2-0
let's go,
yesterday,
man.
they did have that first game, which was kind of close, and there's some things that they can hopefully clean up, but game 2 was not it at all. So it's really hard to predict that lower bracket one, where I think the PSG one's easier to assume they'll
What
come
did
out
you
on
put on
top.
Reddit?
I'm also really intrigued to see if PSG can actually bounce. Like,
Can we get this emote?
stand up to the level, the usual. Because at game 1, I walked away feeling pretty like dejected
When you want
around
drops,
how
but
they
you
were
also wanna watch
especially
Caedrel?
in the game.
Ah,
So I want
smart.
to see how they're going to play up, especially if
Clean.
Loud can do the same thing they did in game 1. There's going to be some interesting matchups
Talk.
there.
Let's go,
Talking
man.
about
Ooh,
the
Nessie,
series that
please.
we
Yeah,
have
we
seen
had that
thus
emote.
far.
We had that emote.
Talking about the World's
Smile.
Qualifier Series and day 1 of the
Yo,
actual
what's up,
World
Hysterics?
Championship. We've got a couple of champions that are 100% presence picks.
What do we remove? What do we remove? Remove an emote. What
I'm going to
emote
focus
don't
on
we
3
use?
of them. And
Let's
Mark,
go, man.
we're talking about meta, we're talking about some of the champions. Where do we start? What do you want to look at?
Much
and why?
love,
I'm going to talk
Pedro.
about
Less than
Orianna
3
to
always
start,
love the
because
content.
she is someone who is a little bit
Cat
newer in the
kiss.
current meta, one of the oldest champions, the staple mid laner for most control mage players, and she has
We
catapulted
removed
herself
Bruh.
back with the most recent round of buffs. We were able to talk to the dev team, and they're like, well,
Nessie,
we hope
please,
we
that's a
didn't
good emote.
overbuff her. It's a
It's
little...
one of the concerns,
It was
right?
one of the concerns, and it feels like right now
Nautilus,
she is
the
gonna be
Nautilus emote is my new
definitive
favorite
queen
though.
of
The new
mid lane,
Nautilus
the
emote is my
ability
favorite.
to have a
Hunt him down,
stable lane
kill
phase
him
and
for the
scale
pick'ems.
throughout the game. comboed with what the rest of the meta is kind of looking like.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious
Kill
to see
him
if
for
we're
the
going to start
pick'ems.
seeing some Syndra actually come through it, or if it is just going to be that strong, we're going to have to ban it. For me personally, that's my most picked.
How many Strepsils can you have a day?
I have a theory that players will say, there's no way we're banning Orianna. We're
I need
not
to
wasting
suck
a
on
ban
something.
Ori
She's
because
too Norse.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
normal.
Ori. What's she
Just
going to do?
avoid the shockwave.
Exactly.
It's easy, right?
But she's incredibly good right now, and the
3 to
patches
4.
really did her a favor in terms of coming back.
And Mark, I know you really don't want to talk about BDS, the ball delivery
Well,
systems.
I will not do it.
Ball delivery systems, what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, listen,
yeah,
pay
no, that one I'm fine
attention.
with,
Rakan is one of them. He's also on the list.
I
Why
picked Rakan most stats.
Just he does so much from the bot lane right now as
Yeah,
your
Rakan
primary
is OP.
engager, as well as having that kind
Rakan,
of
really
power
nice
to
champ.
support and win
Really
lane
nice
early
champ.
on. That slight bit of range that he has, as well as just like you said, being a ball.
Wait, he's
delivery system.
7-0?
It feels like with Xayah
Wait, who
being,
puts
like,
Rakan
the
for highest win
presence
rate?
in
Holy
area
fuck.
That we're going to see a lot of just traditional front-to-back team fighting. There are
Wait,
some
he's
splashes
100% win rate?
through, but it looks like a lot
Oh
of
shit, I put
tanks
Camille.
as well. And
No,
so
it's
you
fine.
can
It's
have this way
day
to
2.
set
It's
people
day
up for
2.
big wombo combos
It's
with
day
Orianna
2.
as the defining mage in the mid lane. That's what you'll
Also, the World's
Yeah,
qualifying
it's
series doesn't
perfect
count for
for Rakan
pick'ems,
right
and
now,
it
not
went
just because
3-0, so it's
the
actually
love
4-0.
you.
but also
Me
just
love you
because front line is
casting.
good right
Me
now in the
love
jungle
Big
and the top
Plant
lane.
brother.
That means you have
But
an
where
E
is
to
your
engage
shirt
on with the
supporting
Rakan.
a
You
team?
don't have to be the only
I
engage
demand
on the Rakan
painting a
and get
logo
blown
on
hard
the
at
hoodie
times.
you
This time
wearing.
around, you have
I
way
got
more room for
BDS
playmaking
shirts ready.
potential and making the most of Rakan's kit.
Okay, we've got one more champ to talk about here
Still
before I
same win
want to
rate?
go
Yeah, but
forward,
less
talk a
wins.
little bit
Let's go,
more
man.
about the meta. We still have some time before we get to
3
our pre-match.
a.m.
Let's
in
talk about
Nano
Jarvan.
Sleep
The
Gang.
fact that
Check
Jarvan has
this.
been banned 5 times is what's confusing me. In my head, it's not a ban-worthy champion, but I want to understand what
This
you've
is the
seen from
Pick'ems
3
update.
picks and what you know from behind the scenes. Is it really that important?
Yeah, well, we haven't seen too much of it right now. From what
That's
we've
fine.
seen,
It's fine.
it
It's
seems
day
kind of
1. It's
flippy,
day
but
1. Who
also
cares?
Junji
Day
was
1
playing
endies. Don't be
it
day
well.
1
Yeah,
endies.
I would say that Junji
Don't be day
personally
one
in the
endies.
first series where it went kind of slow, not the most impressive Jarvan. It wasn't really played to our
Don't be day 1
the
endies.
most of its
Let's go,
capabilities
man.
because the clears were so slow. There was no gang on the first,
Hi.
second, or third jump
Yamato
come through. And
allowed the
usually
coaching?
want that on Jarvan.
Yeah.
But also, I was speaking to Molecule, and he was saying that there might be a potential for this champion to be a little bit of an echo jungle, where it's like it seems really good and hype coming into the tournament, but in practice, maybe it's not going to be as good
So it
when it
could,
finally comes
could
to it.
fall out after play-ins as well, right?
It's also a champion that you can do a lot of cheese stuff with level 2 ganks, interesting pathing, stuff like that. And
Exactly.
if you're getting scrim monsters who are popping off with Jarvan in the
15
early game, and
months,
then
lil bro.
on stage people play
Seed,
slower, they
seed.
don't go for those. You go through 3 full clears. It's
I will
like,
nominate not allowed to coach him every game. Yes, he is. He tweeted he can coach
But
him
I will
every
say
game.
though,
Right,
he
allowed
is
him.
not an
That's
echo.
big.
He
That's
does
huge.
have
That's
that early
massive.
agency where he can at least get ganks. You know
That's
what
massive.
you get out of a Jarvan. There is still the more easy to execute playmaking potential. So I'm still on the fence on it. I'm not too sure what to make of it just yet in comp.
that plus there was a Reddit thread, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago,
Yes.
talking about how Yumi was like not
Yes.
played at all during
Oh, I love
play-ins,
that.
and then main stage
Oh,
is
yeah.
like permaban. So there's like always this kind of thing where you're like, play-ins is definitely not the meta going throughout the rest of the tournament. It will continue to evolve, and who knows, maybe Jarvan falls out of the meta.
Okay, so the
All right,
question
we
I
big
also
face
wanna
it when the
have is
game
let's
starts.
expand a little bit. I've asked the production to give me a pentakill of Roots pentakill and Kai'Sa, and the reason I want to bring this up, talk to me about the bot lane meta and what we've seen. And specifically
One
around the
pentakill.
champion,
Wait, how many
we've
pentakills did I
seen
put? Wait, let me check.
A lot of very
I
dominant
put-
crews for 1 or 2 80s throughout the year.
How many
GB,
pentakills did I
Are
put?
we going to see more diversity? Are you expecting more? Do you think we're going to just settle
I
into
put
a
3
couple
plus.
of unique picks?
I mean, Kai'Sa itself is diverse just in its own right.
Nice.
She's the new Ezreal of League of Legends, where you just pretty much build anything on her. We've seen the Storm Races, we've seen the Lethality, we've seen the Rage Blade.
I put 2 pentakills at Worlds. Oh shit.
I
There's
love
no
Kai'Sa,
anger,
and I've
there's
said
no
this
anger.
many
Okay.
times as well.
Wait,
know
I
the
need
AP
one
Kai'Sa
more
was talking
pentakill, and I need it to
think
be
Kai'Sa
ruler.
is an incredibly fun champion to watch in pro
Okay.
play, because when you give this to the best of the best players, when I watch an AD carry, I don't just want to see you with Jinx on an
Pog,
Enchanter,
let's
because that
go,
will make
man.
anyone look like ruler. I want to see someone who knows how to
Hey
navigate a
Rat
team fight.
thinking
and
about
Kai'Sa is
booking
one
a
of those
KR
champions
trip
where you're
2
allowed to do that.
Quick
XDD.
hit on the bottom lane.
Please
specifically
stop
on
picking his
any
ear.
champions.
Please
What
stop
do you
picking
expect?
his
Well, you
ear.
said
Yo.
she's the new Ezreal. Ezreal's still also in the meta. Sayo played it. It looked decent.
Why did I
There
believe in
was,
PSG as
potential
well?
to see even better play on the champion. He's a very high mechanical.
But that's the most.
bounce
Who
champion.
cares
He can
about
actually
pick'ems?
land
That's
all
the
your
most
skill shots
important
and
one right there.
shift
It's
forward, but
locked.
also not
Okay.
get hit. Like,
That's
I
what I
think this
call
is
a
champion that
believer.
people will
Okay.
continue to play as the
That's what
tournament
I
goes
call
on.
a believer.
I'm excited to see what happens. It's only been 2 best of
Love
series
your
double
rat.
championships.
That's a
One
believer.
extra one. I will get my head around that one. Let's focus in on
That's a
the Flying
believer right
Oysters
there.
taking on Dead
Ain't no
Nation.
pussy.
Focus me. I want to start with the Flying
Ain't no
Oysters bot
pussy.
lane. Shun, best
Pog,
player on the
let's go,
team?
man.
Question mark? Exclamation mark?
I mean, he's been my favorite
Exclamation.
player
Great.
to watch.
Exclamation mark.
And I think for the same reason with Kai'Sa we just talked about as well, he's just a guy that's so good at navigating team fights. I love the way that he's playing.
There's
It's
a
not
small
just an AD
chance,
carry game
okay?
facilitated through an early
There's a
lead
small
free throw and
chance when I go to
getting
Korea
it's a guy
that we get to do a
understands
long
vertically
content piece with the
exactly
Shy.
positioning himself
small
and
chance.
exactly how to use his abilities. So I would say
I
that
get why
here
you said you were sick.
was
How long have you been
pleasantly
suffering
surprised by
delusions of grandeur?
I like how you said it's not just that they
We're
get ahead
cooking
of
it
the
right
early
now.
game, but they often also do
Yeah,
that
I'm really
off the
sick,
bench.
medic. I don't know what happened.
Absolutely.
I don't have COVID. of it,
Blitzcrank, as you saw in
but
that
like
replay,
my
was huge, and I
lungs
think
when I
it's
breathe in
something that
hurt,
the team does
and
need if they're going to perform
my
well
throat.
at this tournament, that bot lane is able
Pog,
to continue to
let's
find
go.
these
Like
kinds
full
of
of shit.
plays that they found domestically, because
Chat,
when they're
remember
well,
to
they can't
use
get these
your
kinds of
Twitch
leads
Prime
off their own
spam
play or Gemini
XDD.
coming down, they do seem to stall out a little
If I
bit.
breathe in
Jimmy
deep,
is
woof.
pretty good in the mid lane on the Azir, and I'm wondering if he'll be
Could
able to
be
get that,
standard
if people
flu.
just
Yeah, I
ban it,
hope
and then
so.
how he moves down his kind of individual tier list from there.
I hope
You
it's
take a
just
look
a
at the
flu.
stats there on your screen right now. Phenomenal performance for Shun. He's going to obviously step up against Udapon today. We'll turn attention to him in a moment. Before we do, can I build up on the Xiaoxi discussion? Because the man behind our stats documents, our preparation, the guy in charge of writing most of the words on our
It's the
teleprompter,
copium.
Marcus and the rest of the team, have wrote this statement. He unironically gets Blitzcrank banned against him. Now validate that sentence for me. Unironically.
Pedro
Are we going to see him
here.
get picked up banned
Please
today?
make you win
the
world's
opposite of
donkashoe.
ironically, and that means that they're doing
I will
it
make
on
you win
purpose. So
worlds.
yeah, they are
But
getting
first
Blitzcrank
Weibo
banned
will
against
win.
them. And yeah,
Maybe
it is
you
a
can win
champion
next
you
year.
need to be scared of,
Today is the
especially
year
with
of the
changes
Shy.
we've seen meta right now. He's not afraid to picking into Rakan. He doesn't mind that you're picking it into Nautilus. He will literally just pick this champion and outskill you with it. And you saw the goal difference from Shun as well.
I asked
That's the
T1.
highest
I was like, "Yo,
amount
guys,
of
are the
carries
streaming
there.
boots
So yeah,
soundproof?"
a
And they were
scary
like,
bot lane for sure.
"No, not
Very
really."
scary
I was
bot
like,
lane. See what
"Okay,
they can do today,
well."
because coming into DFM's
There might be some
first matchup
noise
was,
coming from the
for
streaming
the team,
rooms,
it has
especially
been a
on
very
certain
rough
days
summer.
if certain teams
Management
are
issues
playing.
have led to a competitive ruling that resulted in both role swaps and roster swaps. But I do want to focus in on the players and a specific player, Utapon.
Pog,
He was
let's
role
go,
swapped to
man.
top lane, still won the LJL.
WBO
is now
Utapon
back in the bot
roll
lane
swap
world,
to
top,
and
solo
all
kill
I can
top,
say
win the
is
LJL.
What a legend.
What a
Oh,
psycho.
absolutely. He stepped
This
up when
guy
the team needed
roll
him,
swaps
and
to top
obviously
because they needed a
Utapon's
top
been
laner,
in multiple
wins
positions
the
before.
LJL
He's
as a
played
top
every
laner, goes
position
back to AD for
competitively
Worlds.
Except mid lane. Now it does mean that he can go back into the bot lane position, but it just goes to show that he was such a hero both in game and out of the game for what he brought to DFM,
Pog,
and he's
let's
been
go,
a
man.
hero for them for ages as well. Probably one
What a
of the
legend,
most
honestly.
achieved players coming out of Japan as well.
Yeah, almost any regional league, at least domestically, he is one of the most accomplished players in the world. He has dominated the LJL in multiple positions. The fact that he can do it anywhere, he seems to be a great guy as well, and he's a very easy person to cheer for when you're trying to root for DFM.
Yeah, of
He's
course, there
radiant
has
in
been somebody
Valorant
that has
and
been
got highest rank in
cheered for by
Overwatch
many
2.
Western fans, various amongst
Wait, that
different
guy
years.
is such a
Let's
beast.
now
What?
talk about the top lane, because Upperman, or Pupperman as I prefer, has been
Watching
brought
the
out of
cost stream till I
retirement
have to get
play
to my
in the top
shift.
lane. Here's some
Great
Wait, he got
context.
rank 1 in Apex,
31
global
years
elite in
old,
CSGO,
oldest player
radiant
ever
in
played
Valorant,
MSI Worlds.
got
He
to
has a
Worlds as a top
child,
laner,
not a
plays
baby
AD carry.
goat. Kid has a child, of course. He was brought out of retirement in 2021.
And their top
He's never
laner's
played
31,
MSI or Worlds before.
oldest
He made
player
his
ever,
debut here today.
and he has a
Upperman,
wife and a kid.
Pupperman, as he's lovingly called. What are we
Pog,
expecting from him in the
let's
top
go,
lane?
man.
Yeah, I was speaking to Nymera about this guy as well, and he was basically telling me that he
XDD.
was one of the old guards of the top lane as well, but he's also one of the guys that would not necessarily have a playstyle like Ebi. He's always been a top 3 top laner in Japan.
That
but he would not
guy,
be
bro,
afraid to
this
bring
whole
out a Yorick,
DFM
for
team is a
example, to bring
they're
a little bit of spice up to
fucking
the top lane.
gamers, man.
But Renekton and Aatrox
Let's
usually
They're
something we
fucking
would see
gamers.
from him, and probably what he will default into in today's matchup as well.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see Utapon back in his preferred position. It was really cool that he did that, but also let's get him back where he's actually his best. Opman
They're
will probably be able to
gamers,
step in and
man.
play weak side despite coming out of retirement to do this. And hopefully it's a return to form for DFM, because they were one of
Ooh,
the
do you
most
know what I
exciting
love?
teams.
Hold on, I love this. Can we check what the fans are saying? Because then I
Pog,
want to hear what
let's
your
go,
guys'
man.
predictions on the matchup, right? Because I'm still a little uncertain exactly
No
where I'm
ad for
landing.
me.
So for
Time for
Mastercard fan
streaming
predictions,
Caedrel
let me
half
run
love.
through this
Wait,
and see
does
what
the
it is.
giveaway
The fans have predicted
command work?
Bella, they've predicted who
Yeah, it
can win
does.
one of our
Okay, thank
matchups
God.
each day. You can vote at Mastercard GG
Pog,
on
let's
X to
go, man.
participate, and they are leading in favor of
I forgot
DFM.
work.
I am a
was
YouTube Andy,
63.9%.
happy to
Mark, I
finally
cut you off, so
catch
we'll come back to
another
you first.
stream.
How are these
YouTube
two teams
Andy.
gonna match
Yo,
up?
YouTube Andy, welcome.
Fans are fairly heavily in favor of DFM.
I understand why we all love Jujutsu Kaisen. You know, it's a great anime. It's something that's very easy to just
You
be
gotta go
like,
straight to weep straight out the gate.
it's what most of it is.
Okay.
I don't think it's based off of.
I think it's probably
Do
they
you
know
like the
DFM
idea
better
of
than they know
allowing
Flying
only a
Oysters.
And we
certain
saw
number
Flying
of
Oysters,
Go
like, last year
streamers
for
from
the
each
first time,
region
and,
by
you
the
know, once
number
they
of
beat
teams
100 Thieves
qualified
once,
for
you
So
still
Worlds?
hold
likely
that L,
saying,
but
Free
you're
for now
politely
since
saying they're gonna
GG's
beat
failed
that
XD.
DFM are losing today. Did
I don't know
someone
the
lie
best.
about a minute
I
and
don't
a
know
half
the
ago?
best
Well, I think
solution for
the
number
bot
of
lane's a
streamers
big
for
part of it. I
Worlds.
think CFO is generally
Wait, my
speaking
doorbell
a more
rang.
cohesive team. I really like how
Wait, what?
Julian has played. Like I was kind of highlighting him as
You
well.
were my
I think for
favorite
DFM,
caster,
they've been
now
struggling
my
more recently
favorite
in international
streamer
play, and I don't
smile.
think with all the struggles that you're highlighting in Summer Split, they're coming in on the best form that they can hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think today's going to be a quick 2-0 for CFO. just in general.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I think the only role right now where DFM actually's got a chance is going to be through Aria to try and work through that mid pressure and bring that to the rest of the map. But I also think the rest of the map is going to be under fire and a lot of pressure because the laners, especially the bot lane as well as Mark has mentioned from Flying Oysters, they are just better.
Yeah, I think Steel combined with Arias is maybe where it's going to be because Gemini sometimes, I don't know how to put it like too harshly, but like auto pathing,
Quick
where it feels like he's
guys,
doing the
Lil
most
Bro is
obvious
not
thing.
here.
Listening to the
Spam
GPS in the
random
beginning.
shit
Yeah,
He doesn't always.
This is amazing.
He sometimes leaves a little bit more for me what I want out of him in interesting paths, really throwing a wrench in someone's game plan.
We've got less than a minute to go. I'm going to come to you for one last thought here, GB. PCS versus LJL. Historically, I think it's PCS favored. What are the numbers? And I mean, you're pretty confident in favor of Flying Oysters today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 3-2 right now in favor of PCS. I was just actually impressed that it was 2 games that was actually going over to LJL. Hopefully they can make it more. I think they had a disaster at Messiah 2023, falling down with disappointments with GAM. They're really hoping to elevate their region.
Yeah.
But I also think with everything that's happened, that's going to be a tough ask for them.
Well, listen, 20 seconds to go until we introduce the players. It is looking like an uphill battle. Detonation Focus Me have come over struggles, but personally and professionally throughout the course of the summer, but they're champions once again. And today they stare down the barrel of PCS's second seed, the Flying Oysters. It is time to kick off our third best of in the world's 2023 play-in series. Let's hit the rift.
Just canceled. Wait, Caedrel just canceled it.
Khi mà đến chung kết thế giới thì team mình đã có một số khó khăn, hơn là tụi mình đã lấy lại được kiểu tâm lý để mình có thể lận vòng từng nhánh thua lên.
In 2021, people say that I didn't quite deserve to be here.
Pork, let's go, man.
World's
But
hype.
in the end of the days, you know, it's my job. I'm just a professional. Really grateful for this opportunity, and I hope I can prove myself to people here.
Adam the GOAT.
I think it's important to keep believing, kind of keeping your head down and just grinding.
Mình sẽ không bao giờ từ bỏ cơ hội này.
I was retired from the professional scene for 2 years.
そうですね。子供がいるので、普通に働いて普通に成果しようかなって思ってたのが、いろいろワールズとか試合を見たりとか、そういうLGL を見たりしているうちに、
Can you imagine being retired and then just being called up?
いろいろやりたかったな的なことを。
Yo, come play Worlds. It's like, yeah, sure.
我觉得过往3次比赛就是队友带着我的感觉，因为我可能就是还没有那么成熟。但今年就是我觉得我自己变得更成熟，然后去带领这些队友一起前进世界赛了。
みんななんですかね、ワールズとかの経験もあって、やっぱり
XDD 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 XDD
我觉得我们是
XDD
在越困难的时候，然后会表现得越好的队伍，这样吧。就是我们5个选手都是这样的个性，因为我们都非常不服输。
How do the pros practice if the patches? How do the pros practice if 1320 is live patch? It doesn't matter. In solo queue you can just play mechanics. You don't have to. You don't have to really think about the patch. It doesn't matter. You just have to change your view on some champs. It'll never be the same. It's always like that every year.
Pork, let's go, man.
The whole pack.
Okay, the theme song is really good actually. I think the theme song is really good. Just don't
Pork,
practice.
let's go, man.
It's a banger.
With their appearance last year, this is their second World
Munchables.
Championship. How high can they fly this time? It's the CTBC Flying Oyster.
CTBC.
And this is going to be a fun game to watch coming in immediately off the rip. As teams get a little walk-ins, you know, get excited. I hope we see some personality right now. It's stone cold killers, you know. They're right into the thick of things. But, you know, they need to have some fun, I think.
And I feel like, you know, this is a roster that's like, their experience, this isn't their first time on
Seen
stage.
all the
Like
type of guy to explain in detail to chat how he cleaned his kettle for the first time
these guys did
NPC.
3 back-to-back
Bro,
best of 5s.
kettle cleaning is the most satisfying thing ever.
Just
when it like bubbles and shit, and the fucking
away from PSG.
Do you think Loud will make it
I
out
feel
of
like these guys are
play-ins?
coming in with confidence after how PSG
I think
played.
Loud will make it out of
Absolutely.
play-ins.
I mean, look, CFO, they crushed in the playoffs, right, up until that finals.
I don't know,
and
small
that was
chance.
coming after they kind of squeezed into playoffs at the end. Not as exciting a regular season for them, finishing 9-9. But now some chances to do some damage here in the play-in stage.
Raise your koalas, bro. OCE.
Raise your koalas.
OCE signs. OCE Bronze Korean Challenger.
It's the zoo, yeah.
Bro, they're like, where the fuck's OCE at?
But on the other side, with 22 finals appearances and 16 championships, this is the LJL's most decorated team. It's Detonation Focus Me.
And it's exciting to see, isn't it?
Jammer.
Detonation Focus be stepping up. Obviously a fan favorite. We
When
saw
does
the fan
DFM
vote
play?
66% in favor of DFM. A lot of people at home cheering for this squad.
Actually,
and
DFM
like you
complete
say,
Giga Chat
domestically
team.
dominant.
Have to support
They've
them.
been to the World Championship many times. I mean,
They're
this is
such
not
a sick
far
team.
off of the team that we saw at MSI.
Except it kind of is almost like the storylines, right? Like, obviously they win and they always win, but the whole swap around with Udapon going up into the top lane, now back into the bot side. 31-year-old Appaman coming in top lane after 2 years playing professionally. The last time he played was 2021 summer. You couldn't write a
they have good
story
support,
than this.
no?
This is like Christopher Nolan at his finest.
Their support jungle is good.
Appaman as well. I feel like he's such an
Is it,
aspirational player. For
Steel
like
still?
so many people, like for me, I'm also 31, right? I
He's
don't
a
have
father.
a kid, but like he reminds you that you can still do it. Age isn't going to stop you. It's like kind of Pasha biceps vibes, where it's like, you know,
Pasha
he was always the
biceps.
dad in the CS:GO scene. I feel like we now have our own Pasha biceps here in League of Legends as well.
I just love the Papaman name too, you know?
Well,
We're going to have to work that in today.
It's so
Ender
good. I'm
looking
joined by
fresh.
Ender. We're going to be kicking things off today for you, and I feel like we've got quite an exciting series.
Oh, there's a lot of people in the
DFM, you know,
crowd.
coming in, doing decently.
Sakin
at
greater than
MSI.
Faker.
Certainly a team that
T1
have been
hoodie.
representing their region for a long time, but now they're coming up against PCS to kick off their tournament. The second seed, we saw how good PSG were. You have to assume that CFO will be in a similar caliber, and you've got to wonder what DFM are going to bring to the table.
That's a small arena? What do you mean it's a small arena? It's
question,
low park.
right? How does
That's where the
Optimum
LCK
look like
teams
in
play.
the top lane? When we saw him
Ain't
previously play professionally, there was a lot of, you know, the Nars, their Nectans in the top side. Top lane meta, I don't feel like changes super drastically over the years, so that's not really a concern, but what does the form
National
look like?
Geographic
What does
jump
Uniform's form look
jacket.
like going
National
down into the bot
Geographic.
side as well? Those are 2 large question marks.
Whoa, another
coming into
Carmine
this
Corp
game.
fan.
Although I will
Bro, the
say,
Carmine Corp
this is
people are
probably
fucking...
the best matchup to get initially
out
if you want
there.
to work through the laning phase, because the Flying Oysters do not crush you in the lane phase. They take things slow. This team had an over 60-minute game back in the PCS.
Will DFM
and,
win, you think?
They're really known for their powerful team
Will
fighting
DFM
coming
win?
through the bot lane.
Yeah, I
they
predict
certainly are,
DFM
and
to
I
win,
feel
yeah.
like we've
Let's
kind
go
of got
DFM.
somewhat symmetrical storylines almost.
Will you
coming
really
into
end the
this
stream if
where
I
top
have
lane,
50
we've
million
had
points?
shift about
Yeah, of
for
course.
both teams. Like,
I
since
swear to God,
MSI,
if
both
one of you
top
has
laners
50 mil
have
points
changed
and you're going to end the
up,
stream
in
on a
this
World's
one.
Finals
And
co-stream,
when we look
you're
towards the
permanently
bottom,
banned from the stream. Like, you're
talked about Udapon,
banned,
Shun as well is kind of a focus
blocked,
point for a lot of people
removed,
when talking about the PCS
IP banned.
He feels like
You're
the
never coming back.
powerhouse of this roster. So
You're banned on
in terms
Instagram,
of
on
who we're
Twitter,
looking at, it really
on
is
fucking
that top lane,
Twitch.
that AD carry on both sides.
You're
Come
gone.
on, DFM could
And for
flip
Shun, you know,
it.
it makes
You're
sense
gone.
if your team takes things
It's
slower,
not
plays for team fights. That is where the AD carry is going to thrive.
Okay, we
That
need
makes
Jax
the
ban.
draft very
We need Jax
interesting
ban,
as
Nautilus
well,
pick,
because
and a Azir
there's
pick.
sort of 2
For the
main
pick'ems.
ideas, I think, coming
For the
into
pick'ems.
the Plan Siege in terms of the meta. First one is going to be your Wombo
Lee Sin
combo.
ban, Talia
Jarvan
ban.
Orianna priority is
Jungle bans
skyrocketing,
seem to
and
be
when
the
you
thing
see
on the
bans in
on the
jungle,
1-3.
like Lee Sin and
I don't want
top
to
lane,
look at
that really
play-ins and
makes
say
you
that's
think
the
first or
meta,
second
because
rotation,
oftentimes
Jarvan
play-ins
is
meta
walking
changes
Orianna.
so much when you get to Swiss
That's
stage.
the way we're approaching Worlds
Because
this year.
play-ins meta
It
teams
takes
play
me
comfort,
back, man. Jarvan Orianna, that's
and
like Jarvan
main
and
stage
Rumble as well.
teams
It's like, it's
avoid
old
comfort a
school
little bit.
combo. It takes me back to like Pharrell
Jax
and,
ban?
4K
Yes.
shockwaves, you know?
Oh,
like,
Yes.
Way back in the day.
Keep the
way
Jax
back.
bans coming, baby.
You're really leaning into the 31 years old thing. I like
That's it right there.
Look, it is what it is. I've accepted the reality of my situation.
Maybe you can go pro, just like Appaman. I absolutely love it.
Relban?
You wouldn't say
Zaya
that if you
ban?
saw
What's the
myself
last
in
ban?
games.
Oh, well.
Jack's taken off the board as well as we look towards the solo lanes. And the Rel Flex, who've just been pretty consistent.
Look, guys, it's
Yeah,
not great,
and,
but
well,
Azir
honestly,
is
like,
open.
I'm seeing the Jax ban. I think that makes a
Smile.
lot of sense, especially if Appaman does want to go, tankier route in the
Maokai?
top side, so he just can't get split into Oblivion. Maokai is also going to come in initially for detonation.
I took
focus.
Rumble
So
as
it remains to be
most
seen
banned. Am I
whether or not
fucked?
DFM, sort of with their prep coming into the series, want to
I've heard
match
from
in the
scrims
team
that
just
Rumble is
because
OP.
you need to
So
end
maybe
the
in the main
stream
stage he gets
doesn't
banned a
mean you
lot.
can't start a
But I do
new
think
one.
once you unlock
Wow,
the ultimate,
wow.
if you do
Wow,
have
wow.
range, there's a
Wow,
lot of
wow.
options you can do,
Wow,
whether or
wow.
not
Yeah,
you
muting
walk
works.
a lane that's been chunked out, can set up a
I'm muting
dive,
alerts.
just use that
I'm muting
ultimate to
alerts.
push players off the tower and set up for some early plays.
There you see, Rumble pick. I told you.
The Maokai locked in as well.
I heard
You
that
could
champ's
see
really
something
broken.
Like a Jace coming out potentially for Arya, although we've
Jarvan
been zeroing
Rumble.
out much just yet. And yeah, we talked about the combo already. Rumble Jarvan, the spicy hot pot, as it were.
Jace
But in
Rumble.
fact, gonna take that Jace that we just talked about away, denying that Maokai combo.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? You want that physical damage. You have AP top laner, so physical damage mid. Other side has the magic damage jungler, so deny that.
What do you got for me? What do you got for me, Arya?
Was also banned away.
Now Azir again, not great into Jace Rumble, but for the pick'ems,
answer to a lot of these like wombo
Senna.
combo, you know, big CC comps.
They're gonna play a Senna lane?
Bot lanes, your Xayahs of the worlds, the Kaisas, the Ezreals, things that can get away. But if we see Senna Nyla, I would be more than pleased.
That would certainly be a treat, wouldn't it, to start
Is
our
it
day
Nyla
off.
or
The Senna's
Neela?
locked in. Do we get the Neela? We'll have to wait and see. On the other side
Nyla
as well,
or
there's
Neela?
potential for something like an Ivan coming in alongside that Jace. You know, Jace loves a tree in the jungle.
It's
Oh yeah,
Neela.
Ivan, he
Yeah,
doesn't
I
matter
thought
which one. Maybe even a Zac. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but Ivan could be an option.
Yeah, especially because when you see Senna locked in,
Whoa,
like Senna Maokai,
Aatrox,
and then the
Senna
other side
Maokai.
is Jace Rumble, I'm seeing a lot of like
Could
range
be
in
Maokai
terms of,
bot, I
like,
guess,
poke
but
options for CFO, or like just dropping the ultimate to finish off
They
a kill.
they
Where
dropped AD a
Senna
little bit.
and Maokai want to play team fights a little bit more control oriented. You know, get as many autos off as you can with the Senna.
Don't
Take
pick
things
Nidalee,
slow,
it's trash
maximize
here.
the heal. So either
It's so
CFO
bad.
need to follow that up by getting some dives,
Sejuani
they can break
classic,
into the backline,
Lilia
or
classic,
continue
Jarvan
playing
classic,
range.
doesn't
I actually
matter.
think something like
Anything that's
Lilia
not Nidalee.
could be interesting for them. Would mean they're really lacking in sort of hard front line to tank up shots, especially like something like the Senna. So of course that's
Wow, bot lane is really not a thing on 1-2-3. Unless it's sometimes I see Xayah 1-2-3, but to be honest, champs in the game right now like Jace, Rumble, Sejuani, for example, what AD do you even play into that if Senna wasn't picked, for example? Ezreal, Kai'Sa, I guess. Anything else just feels like you're getting one shot.
Round of bans, and I mean, maybe something like the Neela could be worth banning away. It can be such an incredibly strong bot lane with the Senna.
Sion.
It almost feels
Senna
like
Sion
you
denial?
can,
Okay.
Like maybe DFM are wanting to pull a free ban away, something like this. But we'll see. Sion taken off the board right now, and I'm wondering how much bot lane shenanigans can we get up to with that Senna down there?
Aatrox locked in, so we ban Sion.
Some melees, that is an option.
No, they're banning
Aatrox
Sion
already
from bot
taken.
lane.
That seems to be what CFO is targeting away.
Yeah, the Senna Sion.
Xayah ban makes sense.
It's not going to be here today, though.
To be honest, I would ban Kai'Sa as well, I think, if I was
well,
DFM.
yeah, I guess. I mean, we'll
I mean,
have to wait and
Kai'Sa's
see.
not going to be
We'll
very
have
good in
wait
the
and see
Senna
on what
lane
goes
if you're
with the Senna
playing.
at the end. Azir
No,
taken
why
off
are they
the
banning
board,
Azir? No,
which,
no, I need
Orianna,
Azir picked from my
Talia, all
pickums,
taken
man.
off now. A lot of focus
What
towards
the
that mid lane. I'm
fuck?
curious where we'll end up. The Nico is the big
Fuck.
mid lane pick in my mind. That's still glaring at us.
100%. And whatever Arya gets
Blitzcrank
his
ban.
hands on in the mid lane is going to be nasty. Like, we talk a lot about the top laner, the bot lane, all the swaps they made. Arya has been sort of like the standout
I want
player for DFM
Nautilus on
so
5 from
consistently
CFO,
throughout the
at
year.
least. At
Been
least.
absolutely
Look,
on
pick'ems,
point.
you won't
Even
get them
though
all
there are
right,
questions
okay?
in top and bot, mid lane is always a giant exclamation mark. It's going well for Arya.
It certainly is. Sean hovering a Draven right here. We see the Blitzcrank banned away from Xiao Xi.
Holy
Xiao
Draven.
Xi's name even looks like a Blitzcrank hook. You can see why they're banning that one away from him. The Draven locked in though, so aggression across the board basically for CFO.
First time watching, this UI is a little
That's
confusing.
Gonna be gnarly, especially
That's pretty easy when you get
basically-
used to it.
You say the Senna, hey, you actually can't walk up and
Ahri.
stack souls. Senna would love to play a chill lane against, you know, a melee
DFM
support
damage
person
is
to
kinda
stack
sketchy
up
right
that
now.
passive, get to 20, get to 40, those 20
Whoa,
increments.
via what?
But that's
It's
gonna be a lot
Maokai
harder,
bot.
especially if we get an aggro support down next to the Draven.
Maokai support.
That All-Star could work. But as far as setting up Arya
What
for
is
success in
DFM's
mid,
damage gonna be
Vi
like?
Arya is a power duo to hunt down kills, both around mid and also roaming into the river and getting inside the enemy jungle.
Their damage is very early mid game.
Instantly
Unless Senna's
locked in.
ahead.
We saw that a lot of times. But Xiao Xi
Yes, pick
looking
Nautilus and
towards
die.
the hook
Come
champion,
on.
The Nautilus that we see so
Yes.
often.
Okay, good. We might not get all the pick'ems right, but we'll get some of them right.
Right.
Alright, you know the drill. You can use
And it
your
does
Twitch
mean
Prime
that
to
we've
avoid
got
ads. You can
kind of
tier
an
1 if you want to
time
avoid
on
ads. Up to you.
Unipon, put the work on in the
You
top
won't
lane.
miss
I do
anything
think
before
it
the
is
game
gonna be
begins.
Senna-
You know the
Senna
classic.
Maokai coming on through
You know
from
how it
this.
goes.
And it's actually a really annoying lane.
You
because
can also
how much sustain there
Hey,
is.
mods, can we
Maokai
gamma?
has
Yo, mods.
his passive,
Mods.
and then Senna also
Mods.
can just
Gamma.
spam away the Qs very freely inside that lane. I
Once
do
you
presume
once
that
you
it will be
prime or
Maokai
tier 1 once,
farming,
you
so
won't
in
get
case you
ads for the
haven't
whole of
seen
Worlds.
this in a while, that is not the
Easy
carry
clap.
Senna down on the bot side of the
Yo,
map.
mods, where we at?
Wants to maximize that passive potential. You can't CS more than, I think, about 2 minions a minute if you want to.
I'll do the Gamba.
I'll
do it myself. Who will win? DFM,
It could honestly
CFO.
go either way. I'm partial to the Senna
Boom.
personally.
I
Gambad
Gambad myself.
Getting that passive as high as possible
Take
is good.
that.
But the Maokai support is perfectly valid.
I will say,
Take that.
this ruins everything for pick'ems. Like, people trying to figure out the best flex pick, I don't think many people would think
Thank you all for the
Maokai
subs, you're
that
crazy.
pick. Now, it's going to be played in support. People that are playing the same duo
People?
might switch the roles to the AD carries of the Maokai. Like,
Yo,
this
Nick,
could
thanks for
become like
gifting a
a
sub.
4-role pick if we even see Maokai at the top lane. Like, pick'em's a doom.
I just have to say, I'm so disappointed that we're playing a Senna bot lane, and Udapon, after spending a split in top lane, is not playing a top lane champion, right? Like, he lucked in the H.
All right.
That was a pick he went for, awesome. If
You
he'd
put
gone for
Maokai
the
flex? I
any of
didn't
that
think
would've
about
made sense.
Maokai
It would
flex
just
to
put a
AD.
perfect little bow on this story. But no, he's the AD carry player now.
But I don't know
We
where
all
else he would go.
remember
You could
Udapon.
play
He has
Maokai
been
support into Rakan,
so
sure.
good over the years,
But I
with this
don't
team.
think Maokai
Yeah, I mean,
top is going to be a
Udapon,
thing.
absolute gamer, right? Like, we talked about it back at MSI. This guy's radiant in Valorant. He's global elite in CSGO. He's the top rank in Overwatch as well. Like, every game this guy touches, he is a top player no matter what. So it doesn't surprise you
Yeah,
that he can
it's kind
swap
of
up to
crazy
top,
that he's
come back from
global
down to AD
elite,
carry, and
Valorant
still
radiant.
make it to the World
He
Championship.
got rank 1
Early
Apex.
invade, though, here.
He got
Chelsea and
super
Sun
high
moving
elo in
forwards.
Overwatch.
Not going to drop a ward just yet, though.
He played
Udapon spot.
top lane to
I
get
was
to
right.
Worlds, and now
It
he's
is
playing
support
AD
Senna.
carry.
Confirmed. So support item down there on the Senna. Harp does have the teleport, so it just looks like Udapon wants to
He's
play
just a
the
god
marksman
gamer.
champion. That is
He is.
perfectly valid. And we'll shall see, hunting around, looking for a little bit of some hook action, but DFM perfectly ready for this one. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, late invade coming through from CFO. I don't know if they want to actually commit to something in terms of that invade, but it looks like no. Just dropping the ward, moving back to their own blue buff. So we will have a fairly standard start, and it looks like both junglers will be pathing up towards the top lane.
And in case you want to check out some cool tech, everyone, I'd encourage you to look at Udapon right underneath the flash, and also Shun underneath the flash there. We do have stack counters. We've got it
stack
in
counters.
the game. So don't be concerned. You're going to see exactly when Udapon is getting those.
I just wish they had the
increases.
overlay
That's happening
bottom where they could have the gold
souls,
the gold leads between laners.
sorry,
If they had
20
that, then
minutes.
the whole overlay would
Souls
be
are fresh,
perfect.
As Dracos always reminds me. So once you get up to 20 and you get those off of the minions, of course, so Udapon is not going to be finishing off those last hits. That improves the chance of miss dropping that he's going to be picking up right there. Also gets it by attacking an enemy champion twice. So whenever
The LEC tech, yeah.
Shun walks, Xiaoxi
Why
rather,
Maokai's
walks
TP?
up to
Because he's
auto-attack
probably
those
going to get
minions,
absolutely
Udapon is
rolled
gonna be
early.
stacking up that miss.
Because he's melee champs farming against Drake and Nautilus, so he's probably got TP so he can TP back.
Sports.com to earn exclusive Worlds 2023 rewards. We've got drops, we've got emotes, we've got icons. There's all sorts to be getting your hands on. So make sure to check
Arya
out
mains
watch the
Ari,
stream
right?
over on lollysports.com. But I'm excited to see how the junglers are going to approach each other in this game, right? We've got a Sejuani versus a Vi, both junglers that
Ari,
can be
yeah,
extremely proactive in the early game. Happy to get a gank going, but also, especially Sejuani, happy to get into the enemy jungle. That early ward, giving the information that they maybe can move down there.
Yeah, so Gemini
Whoa,
knows that
3
Steel
camps
started on Raptors and then went topside.
into
So
enemy
it's a
red.
safe bet that that's a 4-camp clear until that before the red buff comes down.
Nice steal
so
away.
Gemini is just 1 camp
Really
ahead
nice.
on tempo to get down here.
Really nice
Steel
takeaway.
is not going to make it in time. Gemini has the smite as well, so that is just going to be a
Was a bit
stolen
risky
away
by
red buff, and
Gemini.
That really reduces the impact of I can have in the early game. That slow, very nice to have on the Vi, and actually Gemini is going for the
Oh, the
Krugs
sweep
as
is gonna
well.
make it so he
held
loses
onto the
Krugs too.
smite, so that's just going to be 2 camps yoinked away. Steel has nothing to say about it.
He's not even seeing it. He might even
Oh
get all
my
the
god,
small
jungle
camps
is a
here.
horror.
He does. Gemini getting basically the entire camp. Xiaoxi moves in to make sure that it's safe.
Oh,
and
jungle's a
Steel,
horror.
I mean, he's living up to his name.
It's not the end of the world, but
Yes,
he has push in top and mid, right? So it's not like Vi can cross map.
Was donating some misstacks over to
Maybe she
Udapon,
can
just
take
getting
top crab, but
auto-attacked on the
or
minion.
Raptors
That was
too,
to
maybe, but
guarantee
that's the best
priority
case.
on the bot side. So Xiaoxi walks into the jungle. Now he's walking into mid lane. I don't think he's going to have an angle. Those ranged creeps a little bit annoying. Nautilus can't
Stop saying
take those
Senna
through
CS,
those.
ain't no way.
Even though Ari is under pressure with 3 enemy champions around mid, he can stand up and farm because he just plays on the north side of those minions, and there is absolutely nothing that Nautilus is going to do.
Yeah. it feels like Arya as well, very safely positioned in the lane, so he'll be okay. Gemini moving up to the top side now. The Scuttle Crab already taken by Steel, but I'm looking towards that top lane matchup as well, right?
Yeah, his Raptors are respawning, which helps a bit.
Which, you know, this is a player from
I mean, Sejuani being up
like
on camps, like, who fucking cares?
Well.
It's more like Vi's behind than Sejuani's being ahead.
We see this pick coming through at the World Championship.
Does Maokai count as a support already carry in this game? Well, he's farming, so he technically is the AD carry, but the support is playing him. So I think that LoL Esports probably labels him as a support this game.
That Grievous Wounds is going to
if
be
I was to
really
guess.
nice as well, especially when level 6s come online for any sort of all-in around the top side of the map. So wouldn't be too surprised to see Gemini looking around that nice little hook.
That's
and
why
Maokai
is TP.
you're not going to find much around that. Gemini with flash forward.
Oh, he landed the slow.
Could be stunned one more.
Where's Chase Flash?
They can't quite get in range. And Arya
oh my god.
But he doesn't finish the kill. He's not tanking
oh
though. He
my
gets
god,
it
it's so bad.
Just on the edge of range.
That should have been a free kill.
Holding aggro for so long, but it just wasn't quite good enough.
I respect it. Jimmy saw the angle, went for it. It was actually so unfortunate because he couldn't transform into the ranged, and Arya almost ended up surviving because of it. They get that kill in mid side, and with both mids burning their flash, that makes mid lane a giant point of contention in the next few minutes, especially because both junglers
Jay should
are
have just sent
ticking
it
up to level 6 before those flashes come online. Arya just hit it as well. So if Jimmy is ever pushing up in this mid lane, it is a whole world of hurt for that Jace. This is a nice gank from Gemini, just playing right on the opposite side of the Fog of War, and there's just not much Arya can do. It was a nice charm, but ultimately, if Jimmy's ever going to commit the flash, it's just going to be a trade for that one.
It's really unfortunate because Jimmy actually pathed back for a second. He thought he'd got it with the Q down and the W around him. He thought that would finish it off. Arya was like on sub 10 HP there.
Does the font from the sidebar look weird to anyone else? No, it looks fine though.
Job just to maintain
oh,
an even
my name's Twitch chat. Oh, look, Senna CS. 1 CS per minute. Kacking.
Mid laners end up teleporting back as well, so nothing too much going to be lost there. Arya's about a wave up in terms of actual minions, and even though Gemini did go for the early invade, a lot of times you don't actually get a huge lead off of invading the enemy junglers. Gemini's just back in mid, but level 6 means Arya
doing really
is
good
perfectly okay.
Gemini's doing really good to make it so Ari's life is fucking.
There might be a dragon opportunity.
Senna CS worse than Pedro and Mario Kart.
Really pushed back from Shun, and
are they really going to think of a Drake start here with level 5 Vi and no Ariel?
It's a little bit
kind of hard, no?
Right now.
The only issue they've got is because Arya had to use the ultimate in that previous play, does make it a little bit more awkward for Ari to try and have these skirmishes in the early game without that.
Flash
here we go. Xiaoxi's looking for it.
Stand aside comes through. Xiaoxi.
Oh, what?
Right into the middle of the mist, and Udapon in all kinds of trouble. Slowed up. The ignite ticking away. Gemini starts hitting Harp instead. They're retreating, and
that was a crazy hook.
I was so sure that was going to be a kill.
All good. Udapon has the flash, has the barrier, can just waltz on out of that one. No problem whatsoever.
Do you know, I was told CFO are a really slow-paced team. That
Jimmy N. I've never heard that guy before. Jimmy N. Jimmy Neutron on the Jace.
I like that Gemini with this Sejuani is trying to use that early proactivity that Sejuani offers you.
It's also nice just you have time before Worlds. You put in some work, you come in with a very different look. It's important because otherwise, you just get prepped into oblivion.
He was on 100 Thieves Academy? Really?
Versus you, and then you get
was he on 100 Thieves Academy?
Later on. So both teams taking a little bit more of an aggressive approach. And I think mid lane is going to heat up in the next minute and a half, especially Steel. When that 6 comes through, you gotta make use of the lack of flash around mid. So the best Jimmy can do to full push the wave, like we see right now, or hold it in front of his tower, he has to storm the next 60 seconds.
To be able to get out of the chain. Hexdrinker already picked up.
Bro, let's go Upperman.
He
might be down 20 CS, but he's got a kid and a wife. Now what, pussy? Who's really winning?
Seen that in this tournament, like more finished as a first item. As we see, Xiaoxi moved up to the top side. Gemini's there as well, as Herald has just
and he didn't play
map, but it looks like
all year and rocked up to Worlds. Huh? Now what?
Gemini hasn't started it just
yet. He sees the sweat on your forehead.
Shun was a little bit confused. Was walking towards mid lane like they wanted to go for a fight. He's still going bot side, and as a matter of fact, Udapon and Harp have both come up here. So this is absolutely just going to end up being a Herald. If fight were to break out, Shun did hit level 6, so can get involved with that global ult.
Harps here, level 6, like you say, and I mean, Gemini's just going to go down here. Surely he's totally alone.
Steel leveled up. Oh my god.
Him and Jimmy have got to get out of here.
So perfect. Steel level up.
Though. And CFO,
Actually, so well played by Steel. Flashing over that pit to get the kill, to get the
just a huge error
to get the ult.
no vision
Yes,
apart from the
Nautilus
scuttle
died.
crab, so I don't think
Perfect.
they'd actually seen that Udapon and Harp had moved up. Regardless, though,
Perfect.
you're aware of the timing they went for that reset. So yeah, this is great for Shun. He can push that wave down in the bot side, but as a matter of fact, Harp is going to be back there in time, so he's going to pick up that full wave down there. And CFO just donate 2 free kills to the Vi, who is now ready
Senna
to
stacks.
take over.
Yeah, you should check the left-hand side of the screen, buddy.
From Harp to punish that. He's like, look, they're going to want to be a bit cheeky. They're going to want to try and get vision and potentially poke at us. So I'm just going to step a little bit further forward than they're expecting, get a control ward down, and then
60 CS
guy, he's going to lock some up. He's going to help find the kill. And that's where the Ari and the Vi kick in, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's where you can never escape again.
The crazy thing about DFM's comp is the reach they have. What I mean by that is like the long range ability to actually like punish you with crowd
This
control,
jet
whether
is
it's
cooked.
the Vi, QR to close the gap, the Ari, the Maokai
A
ult,
gift
that is
from the
so
Freljord.
much range. Then you also have the global ult in Udapon too, so it's very easy for DFM to set up picks exactly like this, even if there's not an objective up. If they can
Did Jax get banned in draft? He did indeed. He did indeed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I see Rumble Boots. Rumble Boots are making me a bit, you know, like I feel like Sork Shoes was the play, no? Especially if this guy's rushing Hex
for the
Drinker.
Flying Oysters, because DFM
Like,
can
what
just
is he
jump on
doing?
you from miles away out of the fog.
You can see our total damage so far. Anyone that says Sejuani,
I guess Swiftest Boots good against Aatrox to make sure you cannot die. But the Harp missed the cannon and the cameraman just zoomed in on it.
I think that's a great example of what Sejuani really does in the early game. Like, the E passive alone just does so much damage.
Yeah, and in terms of like fighting too, just that extra second and a half of damage reduction is just so powerful off of the passive. So unfortunately, Gemini, because he used the flash around mid lane, ends up costing. But this is what I was talking about, looking for those dives with the Maokai on the turret.
Already begun. Jimmy has the Dusk Blade trying to use
Whoa,
that
that Vi is going deep.
That's the reach you were talking
But it's gonna
about.
work.
The long arm
Whoa, what?
coming through. Jimmy actually gets a kill, and he's got a stopwatch as well. Charm comes through.
Wait, they're
Gemini
both gonna
flashes
live?
out.
Oh, no, they're not.
Jimmy
Okay, thank God.
finally falls, and it becomes a 1-for-1.
I was confused for a second because he's not playing Gwen. How is he immune?
What happened to Senna?
Doesn't make any
Did he die
sense,
before it,
but
I guess?
between the Duskblade completion, getting that kill on Steel, and then the stopwatch on top, that was crazy that he almost ended up surviving. In fact, Gemini gets out. It's a testament to the time that Jimmy
-1.
allows Gemini to also get out of
Yeah,
there.
drops.
And what was a
I'm gonna
huge
ask
investment
about
for DFM
drops.
ends up just being kind of all right. Yeah, a lot of minions lost for Jimmy, but I think CFO are going to be happy with how they were able to fight back there.
Yeah, and honestly, in the meantime, Shun just free farm in the bottom side, right? Got at least 3 waves, just solo XP there. Got a plate as well. I mean, what can you do? What on earth can you do against
I mean,
this?
it's a great
Okay, I'm
ultimate
asking about
out of
drops, I'm
Gemini.
asking
Look
about
at that, Arya had to drop her dagger going up, so much time
I'm asking,
was
I'm asking.
lost, so much damage was lost because Arya couldn't get in the fight. That is 100% Gemini reading the play, playing just on that north side in the Fog of War. It was a huge save from CFO's jungle.
Yeah. Also, some mega damage coming out from them to be able to get the kill back across. Like, the fact that they go 1-for-1 there.
Oh, yeah.
I did not expect that kind of damage coming out from Jace this early in the game.
Yeah, I forgot to look at the bottom of the screen and see that Duskblade completion.
Yeah,
As soon as
Murktred's
that
Ari
is
is
there,
making
Jace
me,
becomes an
I don't know, I can
absolute
kind of get it,
Jimmy's been
Sejuani
getting pushed
Nautilus
in
Rumble
mid most of the game, you know, right there he's getting towered
helps,
out,
but
now he's gonna
Lucidity Boots
really
Ari is
begin
so
to hurt,
OP.
especially around
So
objectives.
that kinda
When I talk
sucks.
about reach, you think a Rumble ult, a Draven ultimate on top of the Jace.
How many stacks does
Q
Draven have?
code. There's
266?
some instant burst potential from CFO.
Holy fuck, Harp,
Chelsea
he's
might
going
be
in.
instantly burst here, though, as he's been caught out again. The ultimate going to be popped from Arya to
Utapon
guarantee
gifts the
that
kill.
And the Dark Seal is in pocket.
Bro,
That's
DFM are
2
legit.
stacks in already.
And going to be able to gobble up the blue buff there as well. Looks like Shun maybe wants to try and fight for that blue with Gemini, but Udapon stuck around, so I don't think this is going to favor them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
kill Nautilus,
guaranteeing
it's
that
good.
They can pick up the
Most wanted.
Grump. That's what it's called.
Upperman's just getting blasted in top, but
I'm like, that's not what it is.
who cares?
Scuttle frog.
He has a kid in
yeah.
life.
What if
Fuck you.
everything was just a scuttle crab? That would be kind of sweet.
That's literally a version of
Look,
TNT
Rift
right
Herald's
now.
a scuttle crab.
I think there's logic there. It's like a void corrupted scuttle crab.
Yeah.
That's my theory. At
I
very
mean,
least.
Sejuani could ride a scuttle crab. I don't know.
Voidborn Sejuani skin? Any
Oh, Senna.
buyers? I don't know where I'm going with this one. Plate's taken though at the bottom side.
Stop it, chat. I'm a
Straight
Nautilus
coming up.
main.
It's just over a
Chat,
minute here.
continue.
And I feel like we're being treated a little bit here, Ender, because we've got both teams fairly even in gold.
Stop saying
gold
Flame
on the carries as
Horizon.
Well. Aria and Jimmy are both getting kind of stacked up
Yeah,
for these fights.
send us Flame Horizon, guys.
Drakes, we both compositions have some like early proactivity to be able to make these fights happen as well.
100%. DFM have the tough choice, I think, though, of knowing when do we actually all in, right? Because you have the Vi and Ari, which can go in really deep. Can't really get out so easily, so I think what they want to do is play the fights as slow as possible, almost to make as
green
much
tea. I'm
use
drinking
of the
green
Sonic
tea and
healing
peppermint tea.
damage
Hopefully
range
they
as
fix my fucking
and then once
lungs.
they can sort of divide the fight, if they see, you know, CFO are splitting in towards them, that's when they activate
Oh
the
no,
Vi,
yeah, Ari might be
Malachi,
doing the vegan
and
build.
can look to tear up. Obviously, Appaman can look for some flanks and options like that, but
She might not have any damage.
these fights are so easy, especially against CFO, who are teamfight. That's their power, is how they play in the 5-on-5s, and we haven't even seen Shun cash in yet. So this game is really
900 gold
closely.
down in bot.
Yeah, we're on
OME.
300 stacks at this point for Shun. That's going to be a big
100
cash in if
CS
he
down.
gets it.
He's just dominating Udapon. Udapon only has 45 stacks. That's crazy.
I will say Hop's doing okay for gold. He was over 1,000 up on our MasterCard.
Come on, we need Ocean Soul for the boys.
He's getting pretty tanky on that Maokai. Appaman might have a chance against Jimmy in here. Knocked back.
Holy 31-year-old Giga Chad.
Won't find his all-in opportunity, but that Night Harvester picked up by Rest at this point is a huge spike for the Rumble. They want to CC someone up. They can go for a fight.
Ocean Soul.
He's charging forwards, trying to get the CC down. There's the
Oh,
equalizer.
Steel went
Big
in,
damage
but Shun
for
will
now.
kill him maybe.
A flank on the backside.
Oh,
It's
he
a
got it.
spread fight, but Steel's the first one to go down. Now answered as Aria got into the backline, but CFO looking
Gemini
good
has
so
no
far.
smite.
And they've managed to group up. They've managed to find themselves in a front.
That hook hit the wall.
Chelsea just hooks the wall and has to back away again.
Oh, the Drake's
But
gonna
Drake
reset.
is down to 600 HP. Finally
No, it's
taken
not
by
Ocean Soul.
Gemini. 6-4 on the scoreboard. Ocean Carnage as it's flash for flash in the mid lane.
Alphaman's trying to reset right now. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it out. It's actually two of them. That's two free kills. Harp looks for the turn.
He thought he was finding a pick, but he picked himself here, and now over the wall goes Appaman. But now reinforcements from
Good night,
Jimmy.
sweet prince,
There's
Appaman.
one, and it could be another, because Appaman, he's in no man's land. He's in the wrong territory. We've already got Shun with one kill on the board, and he wants to make it more as well. Appaman nowhere to go and taken down for his second kill into
07.
Draven's pocket.
Damn, the game was so
CFO
won.
destroying the team fight
The
right
game
there.
was so
It
won.
looked like a
How did they
good
lose that
start
fight?
for
What did
DFM.
Aatrox
You
do?
know, Appaman coming in on the flank, but Shun getting that first kill, even though he was shut down after it.
So they
was
dive onto
absolutely
Draven,
huge.
which is really good.
Teleport coming in from behind, and the Jace is a little bit late to the
Utapon is
fight,
stuck.
going for the base initially. But here, Shun just turns immediately on the steal. There was no immediate follow-up on Shun.
Utapon
Aria
dies.
wasn't there quickly enough, so that's a big cash-in for Shun. Utapon obviously falls on the opposite side of the fight, and then where's your consistent DPS? It's a little bit tough without Utapon there to sort of free hit, without cooldowns on the Ahri. And while they got close here, Gemini just flashing over the wall, dodging away from that Q3 from Appaman. That was for sure a kill. If Gemini falls,
Wow, this game's got really hard. Draven got his stacks,
hunt down for a couple of extra kills on the
and
back.
Jace is ahead.
The second Gemini
Jace being
gets
ahead
away,
against Senna is
that
so
play
annoying.
goes from like, oh, they found a pick to, oh, this is completely doomed.
Yeah.
They both go down, and it turns into a bit of tempo there. But now DFM onto the Herald as we come back to live. 2,500 gold down. And the Herald
Is my man
will help
Appaman?
to
Oh, he's going
mitigate
Gore
that
Drinker, I hope,
somewhat.
right? I always forget Gore Drinker is Phage now. Like, even though it's been out for so long, that Phage item is so bad.
Actually, the first
I
turret
hate
of the
that
game
item.
taken
Worst item
17
in the game
minutes
is
in. That is an
Phage.
exceptionally late first turret. Oyster's taking that one, although, and maybe that ties into our prep, you know, delayed on the first turret, the slow early game, but no, Oysters have come in with two fantastic Dragon, well, the first
Jungle
one they just
Phage
got
is
for
the
free
worst
off the
item
timing.
ever.
The second
You
one,
can't change
very
my
nice
mind.
fight from them to secure.
It was Gemini. Ooh, just about dodging, accidentally, I guess, because I'm not sure he was aware that was coming. But look at the items right now. Jimmy and Shun, both on 2 items, and it's Jason Draven. Like, if there are 2 champions in the game that spike hard on 2 items, these are your picks right here, and almost stacked up on the Muramana
Fuck,
there
I predicted
as well for
DFM.
Jimmy, who's just going to finish off
But
that
their
tower
top
on the
laner is
side,
kind of
so
DC'd.
I feel
If I
like
was DFM, I
goes
would
in
put
the
this guy on a
right
tank next
place in
game.
this
Like, he seems
competition.
completely out of it.
Absolutely, like all the damage
He's not going to be
range,
useful.
the physical damage is going to be there, and then the Rumble, the little cherry on top. It's very nice for the Oysters.
Playing tanks in the
And,
Rumble isn't good.
honestly,
I think
just
it's a
feel
Rumble
like they're
ban, pick a
winning on
tank.
the map right now. It was a bit of a game of ping pong on the map because DFN cashed in all of their priority to take the Rift Herald. CFO get both top lane and bot lane tower off of that, as well as a little incursion into that top side.
150 CS
jungle.
down.
CFO are going to win overall off of that play. Taking the 2 turrets as opposed to probably just the one. The Herald's going to be able to secure you.
And I've just realized, looking at that graphic that popped up between our AD carries, it's another tournament where all casters, all analysts are lamenting because AD carry stats are going to be ruined by Senna. Once again, AD carries playing the support role. As the Herald charges down in the mid lane, but it's a 5-man stack to make sure that tier 1 stays standing. CFO not losing a single tower so far this game.
Oh, the face check, but Ari's a bit far.
Engaged on, but he's pretty tanky. And
nice flash from Maokai.
To start to harp. Have to back away and
where's the damage? I told you, their damage is 0.
Yeah, I mean,
their damage is so conditional. They can't just right-click someone and do damage.
Not been with the team, right? With the turret dive, it was Gemini stuffing that engage, and then the last 2 fights, he just has not been in range to deal with whatever pick DFM is going for. So DFM lucky to get out there, just casting a few ultimates to try and survive. But Arya has to be more involved with the initial attempt from DFM, or they can't go in. This is what I was
They also don't have a single alto tower yet. Yeah, this game is lost actually.
Oh,
they have to kill Jace here. Have to kill Jace.
Jimmy in trouble once again. The amount of times this man has been dived this game so far, and once again.
Okay, big shutdown. They need top tier 1 now. They have to drop Drake, I think. They're gonna base for Drake here, but to be honest, fuck Drake. That Drake fight, I don't know if it's happening.
Is it because Arya was there? Is it because it was a 3-on-1? I don't know. Either way, DFM, they're securing it. And that's really all I want to see them do. Is any play they want, it needs to be Arya sort of like leading that charge for the team, working with Steel. And that charm combo has to be there on the Twisted Advance or any of the YCC.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great follow-up, but on top of that, I'm keeping my eyes on that Dark Seal that's in his pocket. It's now on 6 stacks. We're headed towards Medjai's territory here.
They're going to fight
we
Drake.
all know what an Arya... Oh, what an Arya? What an Arya can do with a Medjai.
I mean,
right, team fight,
I think
time.
it's complete waste of time. Aatrox is in Narnia, no Vial.
But Appleman is a little bit isolated
yeah,
from
mid
the
is
team.
good.
They're just
Mid is good.
give the third
Yeah,
Drake
good setup
in
here.
exchange for the mid lane tower. That was incredibly low after the Herald, but that's surprising because they got that kill on Jimmy, but couldn't.
Okay, and they got 2 out towers and they got a shutdown. We're slowly getting there. Just all the gold is on Ahri.
Off of them just spending too much time on the top
This
side of the
Aatrox
map,
isn't in the game. I can tell you that for a fact.
It feels a bit rough as well because that's not just any old soul either. That's an Infernal Soul against Jason Rumble. Like, if they get an Infernal Soul in 5 minutes time, you're seeing.
Do you guys remember the item Frozen Mallet?
Landing on a Unicorn, he's
Bring
gone.
back Frozen Mallet. That item was so
It's even
sick.
better with like a Draven as opposed to a normal AD carry too, because
Draven
Draven isn't building attack speed anytime soon. Just stacking up damage on damage. Hit me with that % multiplier. I'm gonna feel very, very happy.
Goated item. Yeah, it was a goated item.
This is gonna be brutal if they can get that soul. 5 minutes time, DFM will have to answer. But for now, Baron up on the board, and you can see the vision battle begins, as it always does.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate too, I feel, for Detonation.
Mallet Gnar was goated, yeah, it was.
Rift. It's a little bit harder to set up picks on this map because of the open sight lines around red buffs. So it's hard to walk into that topside jungle, less brush as well.
Game
sort of
feels
close
in an
the
okay
gap
state.
And play inside of the fog of war. And really, CFO can just walk around together as a unit, I feel, a lot of the time and not be too concerned about the heavy engage from DFM. At least that's how it's looked so far for the team. It's really important that DFM find ways to divide and conquer up CFO around the map, and that starts with vision inside the enemy jungle. That means taking the priority you have in mid lane, walking around so you can see sort of Arya
the caster's too loud? No way,
together,
right?
walking towards the top side of the map. Will Jay step up to push this wave? No, that guy's a little bit too smart for that. So instead, we farm this this minion wave while Steel just guards that. So Arya can
Aatrox gets some free time bot. I guess the biggest thing is Aatrox can slowly get back in the game because of TP, right?
Quieter moment in the game now.
So I think CFO need to force now. Just walk up and hook someone.
Acknowledging that actually a mistake at this point
Well,
in the
he
game
missed.
could be extremely costly. Shousy looking for a hook there, but
Maybe Sejuani ult this wave.
And our win probability powered by AWS looking pretty tasty right now for CFO, and rightly so with those 3 dragons stacked on up. In terms of gold, we're pretty close, but those dragons are worth so much more than just gold.
Yeah, it really puts a timer on things. DFM
Jace
has to
can
take
take over
the
bot.
next objective
Yeah,
fight
good.
around the Drake. Well, do they get?
The only thing that hurts
is there
Rumble here is
positioning
the
on
XP,
back
right?
core before that? Do they get picked? You know,
He's
can
bleeding a bit of
CFO
XP.
just try to start up the Baron and pull DFM off of that? Like, there's so many more options when you're the one on 3 that DFM just don't frankly have access to. Quick check-in on stacks right now. Udapon up to 71. And because Shen cashed
Senna
in,
stacks, yeah, you can see them, you can see them.
not so long ago, only 142 right there, but is not too far away from that third item.
Aatrox, if he has Sterax in base, can be strong actually.
A whole world of hurt. There's also Morellonomicon.
They're waiting for Draven Mythic. They're waiting for Sterax and Rabadons.
Well,
Cyrildas is going to be huge. 3-item fight on this Drake in 2 minutes probably.
And you can see already like a heavy presence towards the top side of the map here from DFM, and rightly so, because when you're running this kind of composition, you gotta play around vision, right? You gotta play around trying to find those picks. And like you keep saying, the Ahri really being the crux of that was so close to finishing a death cap there. Like, that's your way back in. For
oh yeah, of course something starts doing Quadrinker. What am I saying, bro?
That's kind of the only bush they can play around for picks. The one they
what
just cleared
is
away
he
the
saying?
From. We've already seen CFO have been diligent when clearing that out on the
Okay,
re-entry.
look, I'm really sick and it's early morning.
Far side alteration as well.
I have
Shun,
brain
so
lag.
if they're ever in a tough
Brain
position to
fog.
approach that, they can spot that one out and then reclaim the territory.
Double
with
T,
Shousey and
paracetamols,
giant
strepsils.
wall to absorb all the CC.
Yeah, the other thing as well is they already
This
got
is
a
why
pick
you
from
got
that front
fired.
end of this game. Harp hid in that
Yo,
rush
shut
of the
up.
Herald play to find that pick onto Shousey early on. So it's a question of like,
This
yeah,
is why you got
that
fired.
theoretically can work, but it's like a fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, that's an issue from CFO.
Nah, it's probably because I
right
played
there.
League yesterday and got brainwashed.
Honestly, and CFO have been taking things calm. You might wonder, like, what are CFO doing? Like, DFM have just been trading push
Okay,
and
50
bot,
seconds
reset,
till the game's
push
over.
Top, reset, push and bot, reset. CFO don't need to do anything. They are full on chilling right now because Infernal
50 seconds till the game's over.
is up in 45 seconds.
All that
That's
matters
what
is
they want
Nolteus
Prio.
dies a few
So
more
they have
times and we're
players in
happy.
mid lane. DFM with the Prio from Appman, though, are bringing him up. So they're going to have 5 players
Chat,
on this wave
it's
hitting first.
transitioning
With
from
that Prio, they need to be
hot
able
to
get
cold
vision
in the
on
world,
bot
right?
side, but Rest has already beat him up here on the time.
Did anyone else get sick? Is anyone else like a bit sick?
30
Is that a thing?
seconds
Is it like a
on
thing to be sick
Drake.
right now? Is it the
30
meta? Like,
seconds
it's not
on
just
the
me, right?
timer for DFM here. They can't afford to lose this. So
Okay, good.
The CFO have control of the river right now, still trying to clear vision. But this is what we're talking about. DFM spent so long getting vision control of the Baron area, but they don't have control of the soul that's about to spawn.
Yeah, and if CFO just stays stacked, it's really hard for Arya to access the target she needs with the charm, which is Shun and Jimmy, and those are the players you got to be able to find.
All right,
and Rex
TP.
is teleporting into mid, no flank from up. Oh, sorry, no, that's Harp coming on in there. Your support Maokai just
This is
TP'd
a
into mid lane.
3 TP team. That's going to be confusing. But,
Don't get
yeah,
caught, Apperman.
Apperman getting a big push
Don't
on
get
the
caught.
bottom side to find a way into this river. But
You're getting
Rex
caught.
just all in.
Look at
this
that
damage
rumble.
coming out from Rest. There's Apperman just trying to
Oh my
prediction
god,
from
man.
Jimmian.
At least he has a wife and
sniper
kid, but
with the
fuck me,
shot
that was
blast
terrible.
finds that kill and surely opens up for a soul.
That's just going to be a soul. Steel has to go for something. Can they push mid? Can they run over to the Baron? They can't get onto Baron fast enough. This Drake just got exploded completely. That is a disaster. You're playing against a carry top mid AD comp. And they
God,
just got
rumble
Infernal
damage is
Soul.
ridiculous.
And I mean, Rest has had a pretty quiet game so far, but suddenly we see the rumble damage come out from him, just shredding through Apperman, and that's with Apperman having a ton of MR.
It's so tough right now. DFM's best idea is, hey, we can actually step up to the Raptor.
I don't know if
now.
more
Maybe
rush, I don't know the
Gemini's
math, but is
respecting it
more
too
rush
much,
the best
right?
first rumble? I
Maybe
feel like
DFM can
health
get
item
one
probably is
pick
better.
Off of that play, off
I
of
don't know.
trading the kill
That guy
and
has
the
so much
soul,
magic
but
pen with his E.
That is just an absolute disaster. They also don't do Baron fast at all. I don't
They're
feel
forcing
it's
Nash.
lethality Senna, right? She doesn't have a lot of gold with the support build.
So
So
Nash
just
is gonna
an
take
item
about a year and a half.
It is going to be a long time. You
Nah,
gotta
they're
get
lost,
off this.
they're
At
lost,
least they
they're
don't
lost,
take
they're
damage
lost.
because
I
of
don't know
the
what they're
healing of
doing.
the
Stop
Senna,
it,
but
stop it, stop it.
There's no way you can stick onto this.
If they can commit to that call, it's desperation stations at that point, right? Like they're committing to the fact that they are a soul down.
How low that
just
I
want
was
to try and
worlds?
find
Well, I face
something.
checked into rumble
I mean,
and flashed into a J shock blast.
Apperman face checks in, but he just gets melted.
Look at that
it's
rumble
a good play
damage,
from
man.
Rest,
What?
right? Because previously Appleman, when they were all
Oh
5
my
around
God.
mid lane, he'd been able to walk through the river, and he was setting up, oh, I can group with the team, maybe I have a flank option. Rest, instead of going to the minion wave like Appleman expects, is just sitting in the bush by himself. Appleman thinks he has 5 more seconds before the rest of CFO can get there, but actually, that rumble
Well,
beats
Ari's
the
strong,
timing
but they have
completely,
Infernal
and Steel
Soul
might be
Jace
in some
now.
trouble if he tries to clear these wards.
They found him. That's the jungler as well. Pulled back in. CC
He's actually lived a lot longer than I thought he would.
Low on the other side as well. Shun has to turn golden here. And
Oh.
they dive on in. Harp the one to make it
Jace
happen
just
as
one-shot
Apperman
Senna.
charges into the backline as well. Harp goes down as Jimmy's arrived on the scene. It's a
Harp.
double, triple for him as he shreds those health bars. Apperman
Oh.
trying to go old school.
Quadra kill.
but he's
Thank God it wasn't the
taken down
penta.
as part of a quadra
Thank God it wasn't the penta.
Jimmy
Thank God the pickums are
absolutely
saved.
tearing him up right there.
pick'ems were
It
saved.
starts with the pick from CFO, but it looks like for a second DFM can turn it. That
was a
just
close
be
one.
all she wrote,
But
though.
Senna
Baron
is doing
and
nothing
option
this game.
on the table. Look, the Maokai and the Aatrox just not around with the team, and Jimmy isn't even
Watch
here.
Senna in
but
this
he's
fight.
instantly ready on the TP. That was like
Watch Senna at the back.
0.5
Okay.
seconds of delay.
Draven, one
So I
tick
guess
of
it looks
ult,
good.
half
Watch him
HP.
target out Udapon.
Jace
He's rooted up.
QE,
He's not part
dead.
of this fight. Just one shot.
He can't
Senna.
play.
He's like, okay, I guess I have free reign
Arm
in here.
flashed
There's
into
no
a wall.
cooldowns to be used. Ahri is busy trying to kill that Sejuani. So this Jace is just frontlining the entire time. What a monster as he was completely ignored from the team.
Apperman's so close to getting kills there, but
Is it an Elder
double
flip?
stopwatch coming through.
Can they get to
from
an Elder
CFO.
flip, or is the game going to be lost
cherry
before
on
then?
the
Maybe
cake
it's
from
lost.
that fight.
Welcome back to Pro Play. Here's double stopwatch.
Yeah. Hope you didn't miss this one. That's Baron now taken, and suddenly CFO, everything going their way. I mean, this game
Yeah,
has been
I
their
would
bread
say
and butter, right?
tank top,
Surprising level of
Udapon on a
presence in
carry,
the early game,
Curate to
considering
go.
this is a team that honestly,
Would be my
most of
take.
the time, play very slow. They have the second longest average game time of anyone at Worlds, but when it comes to this point in the game, this is absolutely their comfort zone.
100%. I mean, just from how quickly Jimmy was reacting on the teleports, how fast the team was ready to go for that. You know, Steel walks in division like, we're going for this. Not just the pick, but the Rumble ult is coming down solo onto the Vi because they just knew they had it. And DFM, they're trying to bunker here outside. Oh my word, the charm lands. That's damage.
Really nice by Arya.
He's got a GA.
They should
It's a
maybe
lot
just...
used to find this one pick. Can they commit the kill? Can they finish him off? The answer's
They
yes.
get the kill, but do they all die for that?
Down. Time for an answer coming out from CFO, and they've got a CC chain of their own.
Where's
Gemini
Apperman?
charging forwards. It turns into a 1-for-1 here. CFO trying to get onto the tower, but I don't think they really have the range.
Yeah, Apperman died on the bot side, so it's actually a 1-for-2. That was just completely off our screen with him falling there. Yeah, it's a plus 900 Gs for Arya, so that might end up being all right, all things considered, for DFM. They're gonna have to be able to stop this super minion push. The Baron buff minions, there's 2 cannons here, which are just gonna destroy this turret. There's no chance. No way clear with this comp.
I would love to see what happened to Apperman.
Well,
in a
Jace lost
replay
his
there.
GA and you got a shutdown, but the shutdown went to Vi, so who
Who
cares? Like, their champs are just so
on the death
useless.
timers. Looks like they are going to back away. They're not going to try and brute force things just yet.
I mean, hear me out. If you saw a
Senna has
giant
100 stacks
oyster
at 30
flying
minutes.
at you, I imagine that would be out of your comfort zone. You might be a little bit shocked.
I'd be
And
feeling clammy, that's for sure.
Bot side, Apperman tries to go on to Xiaoxi, who just tanks up, and then I guess Shun just smashes him in the face. Yeah.
Holy fuck, Shun.
Gemini actually used
Shun
the
just
ultimate
one-shots him.
onto Apperman just to make sure he
How do you feel about Nautilus only dying 2 times?
There
I
might
feel
have been
fine.
some
I
more
think he's going to die a lot
angles
more.
had Gemini not use that ult just for the insta-CC. They could have chased down for maybe some more kills, but at the end of the day, you protect your AD carry, you get the inhib off of it. CFO are completely in control.
They have 1 GA.
Fantastic stuff.
It's 1 minute till
From
Elder.
CFO,
I don't know if
at this
Apperman's going to
point,
have
you know,
GA before
the
Elder
Baron
spawns.
power play is basically
I
over.
don't
The
think he
Red Bull
is.
Baron power play going to be
Look where he
about
is on the map.
3,000
The
gold,
wave is in Narnia.
which totals now to 6,000 gold in their favor. They've got that
Yeah,
Infernal
looks like the
Soul.
game's over.
The one stick in the mud here for CFO is
-1.
Elder Drake comes up. In just under a minute's time.
I mean, they will get an Elder fight. It's just a case of, like, when you're in this position, what you do as CFO is you don't even let them get into river. You fight them before they can even get near the
I
river.
really do. DFM jungler.
If they start the
He did
Drake
funny.
and let them walk into river, they're griefing.
He robs it. It's a heist.
They should keep them
I like it. I'm
decently
just trying to
far
give you
away and
ideas,
just fight
'cause if
them.
you say he steals the dragon, I do think we have to like dock your pay in some way. That's just it's too free. It's too free.
Just as free as I'll be if I say it because of the dog pay.
Other good news for DFM.
Elder flip.
I'm really reaching.
Elder
so everyone,
flip.
We're going way
We're at
down into the back.
100% win probability. by the
Udapon
way.
is good at counting, and he's up to
Don't let them get
110.
into river.
If that number
Don't let
gets
them do it.
bigger, That's better.
You
Will
don't
it
start
ever be
it.
enough?
You just
I
don't let them
think
get into
so,
river.
But maybe.
I mean, if the game goes long enough, Senna is literally a 1v9.
Arya's not here, you can't fight!
What a hook onto Harp there. He has the flash rooted up.
Wow, they used 2
ultimate as
ults
well,
there
just to
actually, not the
deny
worst.
any
Harp has
further
TP as
follow-up,
well.
but
Wait, hold up.
not ideal. Harp now
CFO
without
have
his ult,
choked the
without
setup
his
a bit.
flash, doesn't offer a lot to a fight.
Hey, Rest used the ulti too, though, so I think this
Hey, hold up.
might actually favor DFM a little bit. Problem is, they have no mid prio, and they just sent 2 of
If I was
teleports
Jace, I would run it
into
down
that
mid here, I
bot lane.
think.
They need to start up this
I would
Drake.
run
They
it down
need to
mid if I was
force the
Jace.
fight. There's going to be supers running into their base.
Maybe that's int.
Jimmy's just gonna run up mid there and try and end the game. Hart,
I think it could be on the mid wave right now, no? The Jace? He could be ending the game.
Down for him, but 7K. Still some pretty good damage going down. 7K on the Drake is
Oh
still
my
looking
god.
for the engage, but decides against it in the end. Stopwatch.
Oh,
And
they're all
from
dead actually.
Rest,
DFM,
now
they're all
Gemini
dead.
charges into the frame.
Or,
Rest gets
no,
back
he
to the rest
ulted
of
the
his team,
Sejuani.
but now everyone diving on in Steel. He's gone too deep though, and Gemini keeping the rest of his team at bay.
Yeah,
Steel is down. That's the smite out of the picture.
Jace could have
And
just ended the
CFO
game mid, but still.
surely finish off the Elder. It's a double kill coming through for Shun, and he'll turn it into 3. No, Rest denies it, but it will not matter.
Poor Arya, man. He's
That's
getting
Elder
griefed
and
by his
surely
team.
game.
Just a dominant game 1 from CFO. They can run down mid, pick up that wave, the Elder on top of everything else. They just play that team fight so calmly. Like they're not even challenged whatsoever. Rest is inside of the middle of the pit, just baiting out
hell no.
everything. And now they're ready to deliver the final punch.
Yeah, put Avaman on a tank, please. Let's get a human bot side as well, like this fucking Senamau guy into Draven. Kind of works up until it doesn't. Like early mid game, it's probably fine, but if you do nothing all game, then you just fall off. You fall off.
Finishing off DFM here in game number 1.
And he carried Flame Horizon.
We get a best of 3. Luckily for us, DFM have a chance to fight back in this one, but CFO, a really confident start to their tour.
100%. It felt like everything kind of spiraled
I
out
woke
of
up
control
early for this.
after that
No, you
one
woke up early
Drake
for
fight, right, where
BDS. That's
Shun
what you woke
gets
up
the
early
big
for.
cash in on the
Okay?
Draven. The fight wasn't even
You just
that
wait.
lopsided. I think it was a
You
1
wait
for
for
2
BDS.
favoring them, but then 2 more
That's all
players
you
from
gotta do.
DFM get caught inside the enemy wolf camp. They end up falling. Another kill goes down to Shun, and after that, just felt like the Drakes got stacked against them.
BDS,
DFM were
Giga chatting.
never able to get control inside the enemy jungle. And that meant the fights, the picks were never going to find themselves.
And I feel like when you look at DFM in their domestic
Why did I
play,
pick
one of their
DFM to
biggest
move on?
strengths
Wait,
was
you picked
kind of
DFM
a lot of fighting in
to
the
go
early game,
through
building leads
planes?
and then snowballing towards a
Wait,
victory.
hold up.
But
You
CFO
picked
did a great job
DFM
of
to get out of
kind
planes?
neutralizing a lot of that early game. Like the Sejuani
Are
pick,
you
I think,
fucking
was
cooked?
absolutely key in this composition to being able to just match the buy, make sure that all of these early ganks aren't going to lead to anything. And in fact, actually, CFO getting a lot of early ganks
Wait, you guys
themselves,
picked DFM?
kind of mitigating that early lead that DFM like to get, and then just leading into a neutral game. in
Wait,
the mid
Adam's
game.
been playing
That's
Trundle
their
top in solo
comfort
queue?
zone.
No, he hasn't. You're
like
lying.
fantastic gameplay
Let me
coming
have
out
a
for
look.
them. Before we head to the break, let's take a look behind the scenes of our daily video teasers.
lying.
Thanks to the Oppo Cap.
Where is he? Let's have a look. Wait, you actually are just lying. Why are you lying? Playing Rengar. Actual debate. Anti-Chovy CS Senna. Check Oscar's OPGG. How's our boy Oscar doing? 77%. Nice, as a top laner. He's playing a little bit... Wait, they changed the Jax logo? They gave him a visual update? Did they change his gameplay at all? Wait, there's a new patch out. Okay, there's a new patch out. I'm not reading the patch. I'm not reading the patch. I'm not doing it. You know why I'm not reading the patch? Because I'm not distracting myself from Worlds. It's a huge patch. Well, it's the Cassante changes patch, right? Let's just look at one thing in this patch. Let's look at one thing. Smite damage down. It will no longer trigger on-spell effects like Demonic Embrace. Jungle Companion upgrades. No longer takes 20% less damage from epic monsters. No longer grants you user... Bro, what? 15% move speed decay. What? They've reduced everything. Yeah, and they made slow down clears.
To save money, is that the plan?
Say hi to Glenn from work.
Yeah,
What?
I think I have a much better plan. We switched to my plan from Verizon.
That is a good plan. Glenn.
Get my plan
They're making the camps tankier.
when you bring your own phones. Plus, save when you add perks like the Disney bundle. It's your Verizon.
They're increasing the experience a tiny bit. They're making Rift Scuttle tankier. More gold, more XP. Fuck me, man. I'm not bro, there's so many jungle changes. Wait, they buffed Doran's Blade. What? Wait, 10 AD, 100 health? Wait, that might be good on junglers. Wait. Bro, I'm gonna go first item Doran's Blade on Lee Sin jungle now, what? No joke. That must be good, no? You can buy only one Doran item now? Yeah, obviously not first item. Obviously I need my jungle item. I mean on first base. Guys, are you cooked or what? What do you think I'm gonna go Doran's Blade jungling? No. You're crazy. I meant like as first build. Doran's Blade longsword first base. Actually looks pretty good. Doran shield is 110 HP. Yeah, that patch, we'll talk about that patch after Worlds. We'll talk about that patch after Worlds. What is this? Add this emote. Hey, I'm not adding A. Yo, Ender, you got any words you want me to say, Caedrel? Wait, Ender, can you say cancel it on the stream? Can you say cancel it? On the cast? Sure. Can you say cancel it? And can you say can you say the word rat? Can you get that on the can you get that on the stream? Easy? Okay, chat, that's a new mini game. You have to listen out for Ender saying cancel it and rat. There's no way he's gonna pull it off. There's no way he's gonna pull it off. Ender bingo. Ender bingo. Smoke the Doubter the whole pack? No, that one's too obvious. That one's too obvious. That one's too obvious. Okay, bye. Bye, Ender.
Flash, Arya could be stunned one more auto, but they can't quite get in range. And Arya flashed on by Jimmy, but he doesn't finish the kill. He's not tanking though, he gets it, no! Just on the edge of range. Out Arya to be there.
Why is hamster chomic in my native language? What's wrong with chomic?
The amount of times this man has been dived this game so far, and once again, there's just nothing he can do to survive the onslaught.
But as Apperman charges into backline as well, Hard goes down as Jimmy and
What's wrong with chomic?
It's a double, triple for him as he shreds those health bars. Apperman trying to go old school, but he's taken down as part of a quadra kill.
Welcome back to the analysis. Fantastic cast from Munch as well as Ender. And that little highlight reel package is a great introduction to our post-match. Let's start by the draft, talk a little bit about the Senna, the Maokai. The fact that the Maokai was ended up being flex swapped out to the Vi. Some question marks there.
I turned my screen off.
And we saw Xiaoxi on a hook champ. No one is at all surprised by that with an unironic
my screen turned off.
ban. Let's talk about the rest of the draft here, GB. I see some confused looks there.
Yeah, but we were watching this, and I think when we were watching it, we were kind of saying as well, this kind of looks like a draft from CFO
Why
where
did
you
eat
expect you're going to be
Chromic? I
winning
didn't
every
eat
single
Chromic.
lane. It was very much out there. It wasn't fully like we're a poke comp, we're a team fight comp. It had a little bit of
Hope you
everything.
feel better soon.
Where it felt
Thanks,
like
man. I might
DFM's
grab a
comp
tea quickly.
was a bit more constructed with intent.
BRB
at least
1
from
sec,
the
you're almost
purposes,
ending.
the
BRB
Maokai
1 sec,
flex,
BRB 1 sec.
the Vi and Ari old school counter now. Well, not that old school from this year in general. And it worked really well in the early game. It at least felt like DFM had a better idea of what they wanted to do with this draft.
Yeah, I liked the DFM draft. I thought the flex, like you said, with the Vi coming in was where it lost me a little bit. I'm like, ooh, what meta is this? Is this Spring with Vi, Ari? You know, it's still a strong combination. They put a lot of resources towards mid lane, so they were executing on at least what the vision of the comp was, but it did feel like it kind of got outscaled as the game went on. As much as I loved the Senna coming into the bot lane, the supporting the Maokai to get more farm on that champion, I thought it was a cool idea, just didn't quite pay off.
Well, Mark, you talked about grouping up and putting some support there into that mid lane for Arya. Let's take a look at some of the clips, some of the roles there, and start by, again, it felt at times as though DFM were just camping mid. Almost the entire team was around.
I really think the DFM early game was superb and way better than I had expected. The 4 members just grouping up together again and again. By minute 10, they were pretty much all part of the kills that they had gotten, and they were out-rotating CFF throughout all of it, getting heralds here, making sure that Jamian couldn't play the game. He does outplay this with the Dustplate proc, but this does still go to show how much emphasis they're putting on this mid lane and willingness there to really sacrifice their bot lane prio and make it a mid lane prio instead.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool to see the attention that they had towards the mid lane, getting Arya ahead on one of his best champions, but then it did feel like they were sacrificing a lot to get there. They were big CS leads both on the top lane Rumble as well as Draven, and then eventually they were able to find kills at, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd dragon fight, and to be fair, they were stacking dragons well for CFO that whole time, so the goalie wasn't quite getting capitalized on enough.
And that's really it. Even watching that early game, you know, I was never really sold on DFM being able to take it all the way, because it was still some of the issues that we had seen from them when we were watching regular season. Getting ahead early, the individual skill from DFM, it's never really a question, but it's what they do with it. And going into the objectives, specifically that one of those Drake fights where suddenly everything turned around, where they had a lead, they could have played it out better, they had an easy to execute comp, but sometimes they just get over eager with that, they get split, and that's why CFO
I have to point out, just before this next replay, I explicitly asked Goldborg to say, I said to him, look, even though we think CFO is the better team, does this composition from Death Focus Me give them enough safety barriers? Does the ease of execution work out? He flat out said no in less than half a second. Here's the replay of it. I mean, just, again, talk me through some of the execution here and why it was that Flying Oysters were so easily able to win.
Well, in the beginning, you can just
Oh, it's my mic muted. Someone in chat says, how the fuck is there 22,000 people watching an empty chair? Bro, that's what they watch all the time. That's what they always watch. It's always an empty chair, basically, in their eyes. They're always here for the chair.
You have 2 people on the top of a river. You have Harp still leashing the Drake for some reason. He's not a jungle Maokai. It's still a support with no
I
smite.
found a new tea. I found a tea that I didn't know I had. Let me smell it.
Even after this replay, they still stick around at the top side. They still get 2 more kills over. And yeah, some of the objective setup, some of the way they played out.
Oh my god, that smells disgusting.
Yeah, the bane of some of the
what the fuck is that?
Definitely something that you hope
It's
to see.
called Italian lemon.
Been playing them all
Bro,
year. Just the fact that you saw Arya start on the left side of that fight, have to sprint all the way through the primary engage to meet up to try and finish off the Draven. It's like, yeah, you got it, but it took a lot of resources to do that.
I've got one more replay before
Can you turn off your face cam and mute so I can watch Worlds, please?
Every second counts.
Yeah, sorry for the low energy today. My
Jamian predicts the flash to take
sickness
down
is getting a bit
Aquaman
shit.
and secure the Infernal Soul. I mean, this was just a beautiful flash predict, and the impact that it had really nailed the coffin shut for Dead Focus.
Well, we got big pace
I
soon.
mean, it was just beautiful. It's a small thing
Big
like
pace.
that. They get
Wait, did this place reply to me about getting a room?
Was very much in Arya's favor with how DFM played around him. This late game was all Jamian on the Jays.
Yeah, that's why I was excited that we was able to hype him up a little bit before game 1. He is, though Shun is a lot of the focus of the early game plans, often Jamian can be an absolute beast in these team fights, and he's pretty unfocused here, which is maybe a mistake given that he was already at 5 kills, I think, at this stage of the game. He's up 4 more in this team fight, absolutely cleaning up, and a huge performance out of him after taking a lot of attention in the early game. You can see how much 4% and team proximity that both these guys had. It was very much the focus of the early game plan, and he weathered that storm quite well from Arya.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a look at the damage per minute, it's still Jamian who tops it, despite the damage coming out from Arya percentage-wise, despite the forward that Arya had in the laning phase because he was so facilitated by his teammates as well. But it was a really exciting mid lane matchup. Arya was still playing very well. It wasn't really ever a question about the individual performance, but the team performance that really lost DFM that game.
Yeah, right now I have just heard that Picks and Bans is ready. Detonation Focus Me have selected red side going into game 2. So back over to Much.
Wait, I got the room. Now all I have to do is book the flights.
Thanks very much, guys. Here we go. for game number 2.
We got the T1 office. We got the hotel.
Heading into the series.
Now,
I mean,
bro, I didn't think I could get this far.
Like was saying on the desk, literally drafting to just dominate every single
We got
lane.
the streaming room.
DFM, a team that's built around getting ahead early. How do you get ahead early if you're behind?
Now I need to find
It
flights.
almost felt like they drafted to not deal damage
I
a
hate
little
flying.
bit. I think that was really lacking. Obviously, the Ahri was very, very powerful, but wasn't really in the right position, I think, in a lot of the fights to follow
I hate
up
flying
off of the CC. The
because
Senate
I hate
never
flying
fully
by
came
myself.
online in the damage department,
I hate
which was a
flying
bit
by
of a
myself.
letdown, so I do hope we see some changes moving over to the red side. I will
Come
say,
on, my
it is
flight,
also
bro.
exciting
You're in
that
Narnia.
Yupon played top lane all summer, switches back to AD carry, and he played support last game. So he's just doing it all. He's doing the world tour. So will he lock in jungle? Will he go mid lane?
First class flight?
Probably
I
not.
am paying for a first class flight, bro.
If
I am
remember
paying
correctly,
10k for a
I had
flight.
this
Are you
written down
kidding?
for MSI. I think jungle is the only role
Fuck that.
he's not played.
I'll be asleep half the time. Pay
He's played
10k to
every
fall
other
asleep.
role
What
in
the
professional
hell?
play over the course
Down
of his career.
0-1 at Worlds, that's the time.
It's yeah, well, yeah. Hey,
Guys
it's a
are
double
prepped
limb.
in
It's a
work.
double
I'm
limb.
playing
He's got
jungle.
time. He's got time.
10k to fall asleep.
Yeah, a tough
Wait, did Ender say it?
from DFM at MSI as well. Coming into Worlds, I feel like this is a team that, you know, they've got the support from the fans at home. There's a lot of people cheering for them. Got to see a little bit more on the Rift.
Did Ender say
especially
cancel it
when
already?
comes to that early game, I'd love to see here in game number 2. I don't mind the things like the Vi Ahri. I think that's great in terms
You're a
of
millionaire. I don't
the
care. If, I
kind
don't
of
care.
Personality
I'm
of
not a
this
millionaire.
team.
I don't care how much money I make. I'm not paying 10k to fall asleep on a plane for 10 hours.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more to do with how they actually played inside of the game. Because you remember, like, they had the good Rift Herald roam that they got the couple of picks off. They went for that crazy mid lane dive that would have been perfect had Arya not gotten stuffed by that Sejuani ult. And then there's a stopwatch and a
Then
dust.
stay awake.
There are a few
Oh,
things
pay
that just went
10k to
wrong
stay
that could have
awake.
gone
Oh.
absolutely the other way. And then we're looking at a very different game. Still
If
not
I had a billion, I'd
easy
have
to
my own
close
plane.
by any means. But now we do get to see what the shift is going to be switching sides. These teams don't really care about what side they're
Wow,
on.
they
It's
banned
still all
Senna.
the same bans. All the CFO
I'm surprised
will
they're
be
not banning
targeting
Rumble.
away that Senna.
DFM.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too surprised. I feel like the Senna
You spent 10k on a PC? Okay, I spent 5k on a PC. And this PC is going to last me years.
CFO taking
Not
that
10
off
hours.
of the board, just trying to get back to normal bottom lanes as the Orianna banned as well. So things like the Azero, things like the Jarvan open. It looks like that Maokai that we saw doing quite a lot of work, at least early on in the previous game, could very well come through.
Yeah, I think the
Vi?
yeah, I still like the Maokai here. Of course, the Maokai did end up swapping down onto
Spent
the bot
200
side
euros
and
to
just
use
sort
on
of
a
like
skin.
sustained through that
So
laning
what?
phase very nicely. But expectation here should absolutely be that is going to be locked into the jungle for Gemini. The question then, do we just match the Sejuani again? Do we look for something maybe a little bit more aggressive? There are options here for Steel.
No
if we
millionaire,
don't
no
wanna just
challenger, no
match
playoffs?
Tank v tank in the jungle.
See what they're going to go for as I feel like your first duo can
Nice,
be
we got an AD
powerful
carry,
with the Zaya
nice.
Hobbit. You could very well
Zaya
see the
Rakan,
Rakan
like
there
it.
just alongside it. Solid bot lane duo, fantastic later
Pick
on.
North, listen to it, CFO, for the
DFM,
deaths.
we're also perfectly happy to. We'll talk about the Blitzcrank if that gets locked in. That's a Xiaoxi classic. But I think DFM were perfectly happy to sort of delay
why did they ban
the
Rumble?
picks for
I'm
Steel
so
and Arya in the
confused.
last draft until second rotation. So
Like, what did they
taking
do
a
to adapt
power
in this
bot lane
draft?
here in the Zyra Rakan, especially when you see like Maokai ult on the other side,
Don't pick
Rumble
Aatrox,
ult.
don't
Now, like,
pick
this is a
Aatrox.
very strong top side
Don't
map,
pick
tons
Aatrox,
of
don't
range,
pick Aatrox,
even though they're
don't
all
pick
like
Aatrox.
melee champions. The ability to influence you from very far away is going to be
Oh
quite powerful.
my
It just feels
god.
like 3 outright power picks for CFO, right? And power picks that work together really well.
Another
on
game
top
of being
it as well,
useless.
Like the Maokai ult with the Rumble ult. Obviously, Maokai Jace, we all know, it's a fantastic combo. Atherman going to go for the Aatrox once again. I mean, the laning phase didn't go that bad, considering it's really not a great
it was
matchup.
fine.
Like, he managed to stay relatively even in farm.
We counter pick
and
top
get
to
towards
lose
the late
lane
game. It's
and
just
do nothing.
The whole team was too far behind for him
Yeah.
to really get into those fights.
I think also like the Aatrox is just a long time, comfort pick for Appleman too. Reminder, if you are just jumping in, Appleman has not played professionally since 2021 and did not play in the summer split for DFM.
Even
Udapon
Renekton
was
would be
playing
better, I
top
feel
lane.
like. I
Appleman
mean, the matchup
comes
also is a bit tough,
to
but-
the top just for Worlds here.
At least he can
Udapon
flash stun someone.
slipping back to the bot side. But yeah, the Aatroxes, the Nars, the Renektons are sort of what I was expecting Appleman to be playing, and that is
Why did they ban
absolutely
Orianna?
the read from
Orianna's
here.
OP.
So Ezreal taken off the board. Nocturne as
Okay,
well.
we won't
Bit
get
of
a Jack
focus
span for the
towards
pickings,
that
but
jungle coming out from CFO.
we might
Too
get
surprising.
an Nautilus
The real
pick,
question to
and
me,
we might get
we
an
already
Ocean
saw the
Dragon,
Blitzcrank
okay?
hovered.
Stay
Do you
strong.
ban the
Don't
Blitzcrank
give up.
DFM? Do you... are you willing to risk going up against Xiaoxi's Blitzcrank? Xiaoxi's unironic Blitzcrank. as it's been called today. There is no ban, ironic or not.
Ban Ari.
So Chelsea has that
So we get
potentially
a 0
available.
or something.
Yeah, the Nocturne might catch you a little bit by surprise, but this was the pick that's still actually locked in Game 5 back in the finals to a win. That was next to an Ari in the mid lane. So something that could have worked here for Detonation Focus Me, and actually would be pretty annoying if you just drop that ultimate in the middle of a team fight when Rumble lays down the ult, and all of a sudden you just can't follow up and deal any damage on all those targets being hit. So yeah, the big engagers.
CFO, we need a Nautilus here. We need a Nautilus for the boys.
Vi again.
For the
I'm
chat,
now
most
looking at
wanted.
Steel just lock that in once more if they want to take the Vi Ari, because that is it's a very similar style of comp, I think, especially on that top side. Jarvan could be interesting, though. It's a little bit tough for Jace and Rumble to play the game. No easy way to jump on out of there.
Kai'Sa Nord.
Out of
Yeah.
Cataclysm, so that's going to block for Steel.
We'll see how CFO are going to respond to it. Like you say, Jarvan can do well into these champions.
No!
Yeah! Gonna go for the Kai'Sa, and instantly Chelsea locks in his signature. He's been known for this pick for years, and I'm telling you, once we get onto that rift, just keep an eye
Azir,
on
Pulse
that
Jam?
player. His name even
Not
looks
great
like a
here, but
Blitzcrank
still
look. Like,
Pick'ems.
he
Hey,
was
Pick'ems.
born to play this champion.
I absolutely love it. The Kai'Sa Blitzcrank, not something you see locked in every
Alright,
day, but
you know the
hey,
drill.
you
You
land
can
a
sub
hook,
to avoid ads,
knock
you
it,
can use your
are
prime to avoid ads, and you won't get ads
Kai'Sa
all throughout
pass
the world.
is
But you don't have to if you don't want to.
burst
You'll never
damage,
miss any
and
of the
Arya
gameplay.
is taking
But
it
that's
all
the drill.
into his
That's the
own
rundown.
hands there with the Akali coming in last.
Sub
This
to
is like a
avoid all
time
worlds.
machine comp back to 2018.
Or you can tank
the
the Braves every
solo
now and then,
lanes,
which is not really doing well.
the Zyra Khan on the bot side. Like,
pick'ems are
you
fucked.
could have literally
Yeah,
picked
my
that
pick'ems might
up
be
from
fucked too.
5 years ago, and you
My
wouldn't have
pick'ems might be
surprised.
screwed.
I mean, it feels scrappy, doesn't it? This comp from DFM
My
feels like
pick'ems might be
it
screwed.
wants to get in and fight you, and like that's kind of what we want from DFM. That's exactly how we'd love to see DFM play. So I'm excited to see it. And Arya, like, fantastic game from him in the previous one. Like, so many
I
great
never
jumps,
subbed
so many
and I
great
never got
moments.
ads.
Now on a pick where you have pretty
Well, you're
much
just
maximum
mental then.
available skill expression,
You're
I'm here
mental.
to see it.
He was so far up last game, but the coordination between him and the rest of the team was a big weakness. That has to be locked in. That
You have
has to
some
be perfect,
tech
right?
that
Who you're
the
deciding
Twitch chat
to delete
would
in a fight
love.
with that Akali. It's going to be a big focus from DFM in this game if they want to force us into a Game 3 versus CFO.
We'll see if they can find it. CFO 1-0 up in this series. They're feeling good. And I got to say, they've got plenty
Is
of
OCE
power
playing
picks
later?
in their composition. This
Yeah,
Jace
there
looked
might be
amazing
one
for
solo
Jimmy.
queue game in
I mean,
Challenger
we
though in the
saw
OC
flash prediction
in
on
a
the
few
shot
hours.
blast.
We'll see
We
who's
saw
queuing
so
up.
many great
We might have
moments
enough
from
people
him
for a Challenger
across
game.
the course of the game, the Rumble as well. I mean, both of those solo ladies looking really good in one specific play where they picked up and
Player base is rough.
But we'll see how they're going to be able to use these power picks and whether or not DFM can challenge them in this early game.
Here we go. Game number 2 coming in. Top side of the map looks very similar to game 1. Bot lane, a completely different story. Lovers duo flying on in for DFM. We'll see what they can do with a little bit more
Oh, they do
power
the DFM
on that
fighting.
bottom side of the map. Eyes also out for Steel in the early game. I think in game number 1, Gemini was beating him to the punch on a lot of plays. He was playing reactive.
Leave him
as
alone.
opposed
Don't hit
to
him.
active.
Okay, this
Now
game
on
is
to
a horror
Jarvan,
for pick'ems.
You're
But
coming online at level 2.
okay,
So
we're
there's
look.
angles to
Our
look for an
pick'ems are
early
based around
flash
the Swiss
and then
stage. Okay,
repeat
they're not for the
punish
play-in
into a
stage.
lane.
Our pick'ems.
We'll see.
Okay, so
what
we're
they're gonna
scaling.
do is,
Okay, don't worry
again,
about it. We're
this
scaling
kind of
on the
early
pick'ems.
tiptoeing around, wanting
Don't
to get
stress.
a bit of vision.
Don't get worried.
There we go. First strike cashed in. Massive
Money,
gold
money,
We're
lead
invading their
for
red buff
CFO of
with
6 Gs right
Jarvan
here.
Akali.
But DFM,
We're doing
got
it.
4 players in tow. Gemini's got to be a little bit cautious as Harp's still in the area. This could go sideways. I think
What's
he'll be
the
okay.
plan
Yeah,
here?
Harp decides, yeah, this is not a fight I want to take.
Yeah, nothing really to be done off of that one. And honestly, in terms of like bot lane as well, Yutapon not being required to leash or anything is going to be able to get a quick push down there. Nice trade from Jimmy.
Not too bad for Akali because he has Doran's
Not able
Blade.
to find that second Q.
Not
so
great,
Jimmy
though.
just going to
That
feel
last
very
auto
nice.
hurts.
Lane transforms, so gets a little bit of extra damage on that auto. Arya will have to sustain, but like I was talking about on the bot side of the map, very expected normally in the Xayah versus Kai'Sa matchup that Xayah can just sort of, maybe even take W at level 1 and fast push that wave with the feathers, but with the...
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Blitzcrank
That Jace
especially,
Q was
that's
really
the
good.
one. It's been a while.
He's called Shousey.
You're
Just
not going to be getting much
Blitzcrank,
fire on this
Shousey,
lane.
either one of those words will work.
Why, mama, that was a really nice
And you
try.
can already see the angles he's looking for, right? Try to get just on the edge of that minion. But before we get too hectic in this game, don't forget to connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming to grab the exclusive experimentation emote. Then once you grab that, you can raise your dongers all day long.
Wait, that's the guy from Arcane.
That is the guy from Arcane.
The hook under the tower half. Takes a tower shot for it. Luckily for him, he's on Rakan, so he's going to be okay, but even still,
if Xiaoxi was level 2, he would have not been okay. That would have been some big
Look
trouble.
at Akali, level 1 trade horror. Doesn't matter. Doran shield, second wind.
That's honestly how a lot of these hook matchups go. You lose the push level 1, but if you can, even if you're down a level, you land a hook under tower, you get that poke down, you're gonna feel very, very happy. So
The blitzcreen is banned? No, it's not banned anymore. They fixed it apparently, or like they allowed it somehow. -1 cannon. Ain't no way.
Certainly isn't. Jimmy will be able to. Got denied. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I try not to focus too much on cannons in pro players.
Oh my
no!
God.
Just as we say it, just as I say, I'm not gonna focus on it. We don't have Senna, we don't have Draven anymore. So like, what else is there to count? I don't count stacks, so now I'm gonna count -1, -2, whatever comes after 2. Someone will tell me eventually.
I think it's 3. I believe it's 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. You
Oh,
can never be too careful. Maths keeps changing these
shroud.
days. Well, or at least my memory is. But we'll have to see how this top matchup
Oh my
is
God,
going
he
to
took
go.
a
Because I feel like
tower shot.
Ackerman,
What?
you know, we kind of hyped him up a little bit, coming in fresh from 2021. You know, coming into the World Championship. I feel like there's quite a bit of pressure on his shoulders. Sean does get rooted up. He'll be okay. And actually, a knock up onto Xiaoxi as well. This is a good bit of laning coming out from DFM, getting some massive pressure in the bottom lane.
I love a Rakan that'll play on. You're playing versus Blitzcrank. You're like, actually, I'm completely safe. I just, W on in, E on out, just gliding around there. And if you can ever, smash the Blitzcrank's mana pool by baiting him into using a hook there, you're gonna.
Yeah, they need Evie.
Very nice position.
You think Evie returns to DFM after this year? Think he goes to DFM next year?
And Shun's just going to take a quick little reset while Xiaoxi looks for gank in mid. Walks over the ward though, so surely Arya can't die to this.
Oh, nice trade, Apperman.
Emphasis on
Let's
the
go,
word
baby.
there,
You're not going to miss that
I've
cannon
seen
though,
it
are you?
before.
You're going to get that
Maybe
cannon.
not from Arya, though. I feel
That's
like
your
Arya
cannon.
having a
Hell
really
yeah,
good day
brother.
today. The Ari looked fantastic in game number 1. Couldn't quite convert that into a win. We'll be hoping to do so here in the second game. DFM, they would desperately love to get a game on the board. Unable to do so at MSI.
Firing Spirit of the Yordle Inferno.
They'll be looking to have a little bit of a better performance here. Luckily for them, we've changed the format. It's double elimination. They get another chance after this one. But they'd love to not need that second chance. They'd love to have their first chance first.
It is preferable to win games, I think is the moral of the story here.
Yeah.
Winning, generally considered good.
Wise
words. What can I say? I'm a master of it. Honestly, I feel like it's pretty hard for either team to get much done. We didn't see Steel look for any sort of early flash, and a lot of times it's hard to follow up on these lanes to burn a flash unless maybe you go top side.
Can you sub in for DFM when he comes to Korea?
No. The men can try to burn
I'll be arriving as they leave. I might see them at the airport.
Harp and Yutapun right now.
And I will say, this is the
If I flew in before
game
planes,
pace
I would see
from
Golden
CFO.
Guardians at the airport.
Like, this is their standard game pace. Quite often you see in the early games back in PCS that...
Yes, talk about the chill pace.
The second I say that, Xiaoxi charges in. It's going to be the target.
So I have a lot of questions about what just happened.
He's just
pace, we're going in.
Unipod, what a route though! What a turnaround from Unipod back into AD carry, and CFO know about it.
See, we know how to get action.
I have a lot of
just
questions.
Say, hey, nothing's gonna happen right here.
It turned out to be a
CFO
1-for-1,
really
but
committed to that kill, but Steel is there. Trade on back. As a matter of fact, Shun getting sent back to base is pretty unfortunate, although 2 tanks down on the bot side, they're just going to hold that way for as long as possible. That'll be a lot to cash in for Shun.
Yeah, Jimmy low on mana, otherwise he'd maybe have an opportunity in the mid lane there, but no.
No.
Xiaoxi, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, you were supposed to hold the wave.
He's
Jungler takes the cannon minion, then lets 3 die to the tower.
Look, it is hell. It was hell, ultimately. Shun's managed to get there back in time. Should be able to hold this wave a little bit longer as well. That should just about freeze as Harp and Steel, in fact, Steel, just returning to the bottom lane once again. Sweeper there. Gemini will be spotted, but the sapling comes on in. And that's going to be full information now for both teams. So no play should come through, although maybe up towards the top side. Rest has that ultimate available. Just going to be poking Apperman under the tower.
He doesn't have
Rest
Ignite.
actually switched to Teleport. He had Ignite in the last game. I think after realizing, hey, I wasn't really playing for kills in lane, and it was really nice with all the teleports going around the map. Just trying to match that a little bit more. But as far as things are concerned, I feel like if Steel just hovers bot lane kind of permanently, it really
They don't show the replay of the fight.
Can do. You know, even if you're landing a hook.
Yeah, the first blood 1-for-1 fight was weird because Utapon and Harp like walked away, and CFO were scared of Jarvan. But then DFM walked back up with their bot lane to fake pressure that Jarvan was there, but then CFO just fought them and then they died.
Now that Steel and
then luckily Shun died too, but
walkabout inside the enemy jungle. You know that's something
it was really cocky what they did.
To look for. Whenever they have the shove on the bot side, Harp can move up, play for a little bit of vision.
He's building more again.
On top of that, it just makes a ton of sense when you've got an Aatrox up in the top lane that's against the Rumble. You've got an Akali that realistically wants to get out of mid lane and scrap.
CFO think Jarvan's in the bush by their movement, look, because they're standing there. So now DFM's out, but then they go back in, but Jarvan isn't there. So why are they going... They're lucky that Utapon gets this really nice Eon to Shun.
I wonder, I feel like Harp could maybe play things a little bit slower, like Steel is coming on the way, keep them interested, and Harp just sends it. It works, they're able to trade it back with the feathers, but maybe could have slowed things down just ever so slightly. But that's what I'm talking about with the burst between the Blitzcrank crowd controls.
Meta looks pretty good for Worlds though. No range support, no scaling, very mid-game, skirmishy. Meta for Worlds will be fun, I think.
So he's feeling strong.
Umbral Glaive Kai'Sa, based.
DFM
Chat is molding.
Oh my god, Umbral
Glaive on CFO learned their lesson. You're not going to fight that again.
Yeah, this is the repeat of last time, except like you say, this time they're not going to walk into the brush. This time they're not going to contest without their team near.
Unfortunately, because Shun and Xiaoxi still walked mid, they don't just have the insta-push on bot side, so by the time Utapon and Harp get down here, they're going to fully pick up all those minions. Woo! Nice little attempt there, getting the execute and the hook to come in, but yeah, no minions really denied from Utapon, so it's dead even CS, mid, bot, top lanes where it's really opened up. Rest with that prio and junglers being very busy on the bottom side of that is being so annoying.
Get cancelled.
Cancels the reset on Steel. He's got Herald, so it's not a really big deal, but
wait, Ender got the cancelled
it's just doing really nicely for himself on the top side.
Harp just...
We didn't see it.
Luckily, CFO didn't see it, because if they did, I think Xiaoxi flashes on that play, honestly. That's a free kill onto Harp if they knew about it, but it wasn't on vision. Harp will get away with it, but...
Okay, now all he has to say is rat.
That's what we call it the
and
UK
Ender wins the Ender bingo.
Moment, where it's like, you're Harp in that situation, you know those buttocks clenched as soon as he misclicked that W. He'll be okay. He walks away with his life, and it's only 1-1 on the scoreboard.
Who did you
DFM,
vote to win?
I'm a little concerned about that fact.
I voted
like
DFM to win.
To start
Shit.
To see skirmishes now. The Akali, level 9, you've got your boots.
You already
in.
said rat?
Obviously,
really?
you'd like to get to that first item, but we've seen Akali's pop off before first item before.
Sorry,
it's a
my
champion
voice is going
with
weird.
setup from things like a Jarvan, you'd love to get into a scrap.
Yeah, I'm kind of eyeing the Drake in 2.5 minutes time.
It's rough out here.
It's not a problem that they're not like dominating just yet, but like you're saying, yeah, the skirmish in the next few minutes going to be a big deal, whether or not that is around an objective like the Drake, the Herald, or just, you know, getting vision inside the enemy jungle and setting something up. It's important to note it is the Umbral Glaive build that's been catching some popularity for Shun's Kai'Sa down on the bottom side of the map. So really big damage on that Q.
That's some wave clear right there.
Gets a little bit of poke and insta-push the wave. He wants to take a easy reset for himself, I would imagine.
He wants to take a rest, if you will. I just
got
to get out of my system, you know? I've got to get out of my system.
I wonder if he saw Steel on the bot side and thought, if I get a fast push here, I can auto the tower a few times and look to chunk out for an early play. That would be an idea of like going for the insta push, as you know you can't get ganked, so you can just disrespect the lane almost entirely. It could have also just been a little bit of poke there, because it did do about 100.
Okay, it's time for the Strepsil.
Onto Appleman, who's been completely stuck underneath his tower.
Yeah.
We're big pace. big pace.
I mean, either the overlay's broken or...
What are you going to do with this G2 Weibo World Finals? I'm going to watch G2 get 3-0'd again.
Get CC'd up. He's got the silence, though, and actually gets out with his life. And now Shun trying to get the damage down, but Cataclysm keeps him in the play. Killer Instinct over the Cataclysm, so he will get out with his life. But CFO trying to make these plays happen. It's not quite working out for him.
Yeah, maybe they think with the Umbral Glaive having the item advantage there is better, but after the burst damage comes
Neither of them
in,
are getting there, little bro.
Yeah,
they are. One of them will.
Up there with the damage.
Just
the
believe.
Feathers reigning supreme.
Sometimes you just gotta believe. Don't be a doubter.
2 turret plates to get some auto attacks down here as well. So nicely done. This bot lane prio really working for DFM, opting in, you know, saying, hey, you can pick the Blitzcrank. That is absolutely no problem. We're just going to take Prio in this matchup. A completely different look to game number 1. Where
The
they were
Moby
just
Boots first item
farm
tech.
up and stack up on the center
Respectable.
Yeah, it's one of the... I feel like they've drafted this composition. It's like, it's okay if you hook us because we want to be in your face. That's our comfort zone.
Yeah,
Please
it's like a little public transport system. You just hop on the Blitzcrank train, and all of a
Smoke
sudden
the
you're in
dollars.
Shun's face.
Oh, fantastic. We'll see what Xiaoxi can get done, though, across the game. I like that we've seen a lot of attempts from Xiaoxi, right? We saw the pick onto Heart. We've seen him going towards the mid lane a couple of times. That control ward getting some big value here.
Step in the bush!
Harp knows exactly
they know
what's
he's in
going
there.
on. They could set up a play.
Yeah, Xiaoxi saw him walk in here.
Blind hook?
Does he just go for the blind
Oy.
hook? Oh, if he'd gotten 1 second sooner.
Could
He should have just known.
And why didn't they read their minds?
Why can't he just see
I mean, look,
the
we've
bush?
seen plenty of mind control over the last couple of years of League of Legends. I don't see it being out of the picture at this point. As vision around the dragon comes up.
He
You
wastes 2 years
mentioned
to press
this dragon
hook.
a couple of minutes ago.
No, he was
as a
waiting for his
potential
teammates.
catalyst here
Otherwise, it's
for
pointless to
DFM.
hook.
But also just how annoying is
Yeah,
it
it's
to
like
play
2 seconds of
DFM?
CC.
You go
Hook,
on
knock
this
off
cycle off
silence,
a
then
reset,
it's
you
over.
put down vision inside the enemy jungle. Thank goodness they still have that control ward down. But that's actually going to get spotted because Shun is going to walk straight on past it, and he's got Umbral Glaive, so it's impossible to have any vision. Xiaoxi not going to waste his time.
Xiaoxi really likes to hold his hook.
But yeah, how do you have any vision control against, you know, the double sweepers
And the
coming
crowd
in,
goes
control
mild.
ward purchases on everyone from CFO and the Umbral Glaive? It's going to be tough to re-clear this to River.
Here's control wards coming through as well. Vision will be cleared. DFM, like I say, they'd like to move in. But it's a bit risky, and it's always risky to play into
Jace
darkness
Maokai
when
Rumble on
Blitzcrank
Drake
is
fights.
on the enemy team. Dragon Starred, but Steel has vision of the area for the time being.
Just give.
Gemini could just pop his ult here to try and brute force engage. Harp sidesteps the hook. But ultimately, it's a Drake
wants to
take
watch
it.
them take it.
Gemini will walk away. Bit of damage onto these sideline towers, but realistically, not that much gain from the side of DFM.
I don't hate this, though. CFO are trying to set up a little answer to the play.
What is that
they
Jarvan
catch
doing?
Steel.
They read him like a book.
Huh?
Steel is gone. It's another kill for Shun. I love the blast cone play, the creativity there from CFO.
CFO are so active. It's a really good look from them, matching everything. And that's after I thought it was a nice response from DFM.
How did Jarvan even
The fight
get
was
there?
really tough because they didn't have vision. So Affaman will get a turret play topside. They'll burn the
nice
TP
that
on
Affaman's
rest.
going
And
gorgeous
Unicorn
into it.
has the full push bot. They're looking for the fight.
Xiaoxi rooted up, has that mana shield, gets the knock up onto Unipon, and Shun's untouched so far. That's the Featherstorm down. Surely Shun can finish the
worth
kill
it.
onto Unipon
Why,
here. The
Mama,
flash
he
for the
flashed as
feathers,
well.
but he doesn't find the route. And now Shun chasing for more onto Harp.
Unicorn so close on those feathers, but not quite
Nice
at
try.
the end of the day. Gets the kill, but now it's a
Nice
full
try.
wave lost to that bot side tower. And CFO take all the momentum away from
Wait, it's
DFO.
Ocean Soul.
The
Huge.
Dragon
The
play
pickings
into
are
the
saved.
response in bot lane was just perfect.
Yeah, tough situation now for DFM, a team that realistically they want to be finding these skirmishes. They started this play.
Yeah, so Shun
But
thinks
Xayah
the push
eats
is
so
clear.
early,
He just
no?
sent the W out into it. That's a really nice play from
Xayah
DFM,
used
but
E so early.
Gemini is just babysitting down here. I'd be mad if I was Udapon and can't quite find it on the flash. Shun also had a nice response there. I don't think it ended up mattering, but the ultimate to reposition and dodge away from the feathers is exactly the right idea.
I just
he
love
didn't have
this
EQ.
read onto Steel. It's so great.
He didn't have
fact
EQ.
that you could see them about to blast go, and they're like, wait a second. Steel could be here. They could be trying to set up the dive. They go as a 3, and it pays dividends. Beautiful stuff from CFO.
That was his real flash.
And now they'll get a Herald off the back of it as well.
Yeah. And with moving their duo into the mid lane as well, now it's turned around. They can get Prio in mid lane really, really easily for themselves. More
That
than
looked
happy,
so funny.
Happy to send Chimian down on
That
the
was
bottom
epic.
side of the map. And CFO, kind of their mantra in game 1 was take the fights around objectives. Gemini was very active in the early game, but then between objectives,
Is the
they
giveaway
would,
command disabled?
play a
No, it
little bit
should
more
work. Try it.
controlled, you know, just full vision control inside the rivers, make sure DFM couldn't really set anything up onto them, and then when it came to their objective setup, always grouping with 5, always with Prio through mid lane into the Dragon. It was very nice.
Hook through onto Steel, and he's just gone. He's just one-shot Jimmy.
Walk straight over
has
water.
that lethality as Xiaoxi actually got the
doesn't
kill
work.
from that one. Harp forced to flash. He's in the back of the pit on his lonely Onsome, rooted up, knocked back. Xiaoxi is here to find the hook. Is it on cooldown?
Your
Must
message
have been on
wasn't
cooldown
posted
for just another couple of
due to
seconds.
conflicts with the channel's moderation settings.
That's tough. Steel and Harp looking for another,
What?
invade option,
Hey,
whether
mods,
it's a
can we-
pick or
mods,
vision,
can we
doesn't
fix that?
matter. Harp and Unipon, we'll keep our eyes on them, but This fight
Mods?
not going to be good for them.
Why can't they write exclamation mark giveaway?
Like Jimmy and Shousey have just buddied up, just running around the map together.
Yeah, Kai'Sa's a mid laner too. It makes sense.
That's true. That's true.
Why are you saying 07?
Double Duskblade as well. Now locked in. Rest has that Night Harvester. We've all seen what that spike can do for a Rumble. We all saw what happened to Abham in the last game when the items came on through for Rest. Things are feeling pretty good for any PCS fans at home right now.
Walking over a ward. There's no sweeper, and Jimmy was just reading that, you know? It was walking bot side to pick up the big wave, but as soon as you see him on the vision, can instantly path up there and catch that play in transition. And DFM, if they want to go for looks like that, first of all, you need to be able to like sweep through, make sure there's not vision. But
is there any mods in the chat?
The Jarvan and the Rakan, is that enough damage to actually kill anyone? I don't think so. I don't think so. Pretty sure like Arya needs to be involved in that in some way. You have to have a third player in a look like that, or it's just not going to work.
And speaking of Arya, he's had a very quiet game so far. Farming up a storm.
Okay, we need 3 dragons taken minimum.
That mythic. We talked.
He just got warded on. Is he like? What is he doing?
Silence is there as well. Shousey with his second kill of the game. Finding another pick, finding another moment, and finding
what is even happening?
A window into the dragon potentially for his team.
And every single hook from the Blitzcrank means you're just getting a fully isolated cast of the Acathian Rain on the Kai'Sa, and that's the huge lethality build. That is so much damage.
It's just dawned on me what the C in Shousey stands for. It stands for Crank. We got Shao Crank
the Shao Crank
on the seed, and he's making it look fantastic. 100% kill.
You know what, Abelman? I don't judge you anymore for the Aatrox pick. You do you. You just stay in your top lane while your team's just griefing.
You'd imagine. DFM have the cooldowns, but do they have the items? I'm not so convinced. Maybe if they could set up some kind of a pick onto Shun here with Shousey showing on the bot side of the map. That's a Hex Splash over. Arya's in trouble. But straight out the sky.
Silence turns invisible, but Jimmy still getting some big damage down. TP's come through. Great little knockback on the quickness. And Harp gets no value out of his ultimate. Now Rest wants a little bit more. Equalizer available. Just slams it onto Arya to get a bit of damage down.
Damage dealt for first strike, respect.
Happy with that 100 gold from the first strike. It's still a win.
Just cashing in. The chief financial officers are making it rain here on Summoner's Rift. The ultimate plus Herald in mid. They're not even going to catch anyone with the ult. Maybe could have used that straight up through mid to isolate them off the tower, but with 4 players around mid, Jimmy and on the move as well. This one's going down, and Unicorn has to ult out of the hook.
Unlucky though.
Shao Crank forcing an ultimate now as Jimmy and found
oh my god, this game is just like... I can't watch this.
Sends him back to 2021.
This is disgusting.
And Steel has to flee for his life.
The shock blast. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it was just narrowly avoided by Steel. That would have been the extra cherry on top. Yeah, you can kiss that dragon goodbye.
I can't watch this, man. This is just sad.
I mean, we got to comment on the sheer confidence that CFO are playing.
He's watching 50-year-old grandpa men inspiring you to go back to
Second
pro
seed
play.
for PCS, 5 games in the finals.
Yeah,
We keep on saying this,
I'm gonna start queuing up after this
now
series.
coming into play-ins,
The return
this
of
doesn't
Caedrel.
look like a team that's nervous, that's panicking, that's not sure how to... Like, this looks like a cool, calm, collected, well-drilled
Like this recall is
squad.
just... the second you get warded on, you need to... I don't know if he's in shop. Did he not see the ward?
Over the map, they're set up for picks and
Maybe he didn't see the ward come over the wall. What? That vision toggle was weird.
Is it me, or did the ward see Rakan, but Rakan didn't see the ward there? That was... I don't know if that's just a replay bug.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea.
Wait, what?
I'm not going to lie to anyone.
Now I understand why he died.
Here's the shock blast, by the way. Oh, never mind.
It's hard to say whether
I'm not lying.
like a vision
I promise there was a shock blast that almost got it.
Yeah, I saw it. Don't worry. Yeah, fantastic stuff though from CFO. They're in a great spot.
That was weird.
You gotta feel this is a great show of confidence for them. A lot of people at home that have got PSG winning the pick'ems feeling a little bit nervous watching the series because suddenly CFO might just be that contender from the PCS, but there might be a reason that they went to 5 games with PSG.
And look, if Shousey's gonna have the Blitzcrank and look like this, you gotta be happy with the performance. I do think it is important to contextualize the
refs
roster
do
they're
something?
playing versus though. DFM,
I don't know, it depends. If they call it a bug DFM, then sure.
Japan as a region,
oh my
god. He just don't miss.
It's a
the
montage.
Jimmy has been found on the sideline. Finally,
okay, Jimmy Neutron's down. And they have no TPs. Yeah, it's gone.
600 gold is worth the Baron.
Yeah, but there's no teleports on the 2 soul laners that just got the kill on the bot side. That was Arya teleporting in. It's just Utapon and Harp trying to stall things out, but it's already
They should have it.
Harp and Utapon need some absolute heroics. Dashes away from the hook. 2K on the Baron. Baron's going to be taken. Can you get any kills? You're in a 2v4 though. This is surely unwinnable for them.
What?
Harp is down already. Unipon having to use that ultimate. Now an equalizer comes on through. As Shun dives onto Apperman. This is a bloodbath, and DFM, they're just not having a good time anymore. Aria trying to get onto Shun, trying to find an assassination of his own, but he's knocked up and should be taken down. The Q can't quite finish the kill, but Xiao Si can! It's Xiao Crank to the rescue!
It's just lights out from CFO. Xiao Si.
Okay, some of these fights are sussy, but yeah, this game's done now.
Just wonderful stuff.
Nice pick over side, but they had to Akali TP in, I guess.
Down here on the bottom side, that's a teleport straight onto a minion. At the same time, the pick happens on the top side, so Arya
This is really,
that he's okay to go
this is a
for
really
play.
fine play to happen, but Jarvan got caught, right? So the threat of Baron just
Surely they can't go for
becomes
Baron
infinitely
flip,
higher.
but then steal once again on Vision. And that has been the
Baron
story
threat just becomes
of
so
this
OP.
game. Steel can't go anywhere without being seen. CFO just looked like
Yeah,
they
the
had
Rakan
backs
team fight
on
wasn't
because
great.
the enemy jungler
He
is
doesn't have E up.
permanently lit up.
It's too beautiful. And Xiao Si just, he just doesn't seem to miss these hooks in the fights. Like, consistently finding his target. And then Arya, I respect the attempt to go for Shun here. Like, you've got to make something happen. You just lost Baron. But again, Xiao Si arrives, flashes for the knock-up, and then when Arya tries to go back in, just bopped.
He
just straight up
cancels
bopped.
it.
Okay, we need to
man,
straight up cancel
the
it.
E-follow-up not gonna work there.
We need
Now
more
Xiao Si
ocean
just
dragons.
playing
More ocean
inside
dragons.
the fog of war
More
again.
ocean dragons. That's all we
Waiting
need.
for that moment. When's it gonna be? There's also a Hex Flash online. You don't
Bye-bye.
want to clear that ward.
God, not again. It's happening again. Apperman's
Oh,
been
that
found,
gold drinker was
and
big.
The Xiao Crank comes out on top once more. Okay, Killer Instinct's on cooldown. I thought for a second we were going to see Shun fly into
Let's
the
keep
end.
walking into Blitzcrank.
He just can't
Like
miss.
what?
He simply cannot miss. He doesn't
This
know
Blitzcrank
how.
is smurfing.
Xiao's just this little rat sitting inside the topside jungle. Hook after hook after hook coming out of the fog of war. You think you're fine, and then all of a sudden, little mouse hole
No, there's not
opens
another
up.
one,
You
right?
get dragged through it by a giant robot arm. It's just disgusting. And he's looking for more.
That would have been
Vision.
absurd.
That's just silly. It's
He said rats. Did he say rat?
Imagine if he hits that. Like, that's like, we're winning this game. I'm getting my
Did he say it?
Because he finds a hook. Upon happens to be going
Ender,
there.
my
like,
man. He won the
that's
Ender
game
bingo.
one.
What's better,
Cancel it in
the
red.
cross-map Ash Arrow or the Blitzcrank hook with no information?
The Hex Flash blind hook. Steel charges it onto Jimmy. And
We're going in, I guess.
it just gets
We
bodied.
Jarvan wants to go
I
in.
don't know about
Jarvan
that
went in. Rakan wasn't ready, but we went in.
Poke coming in. We're just waiting
Like,
for the
huh?
shock blast combo. Oh no, DFM already been safe.
DFM is one out.
Running with all the range that CFO
They got a
have.
dinner
Cryo went
reservation.
Topside. At least there's no mid wave here yet, so they can try to respond. But no, if the Baron creeps, it's not going to happen. Arya lives to see another day, just barely.
Toying with the idea of going in for this one. Arya's there with the Proto Belt, but oh, the Everfrost almost locked him up on the equalizer there. Arya has to use the Zhonya's just to keep himself safe.
If you stop
here.
watching
The
Akali
poke
Shroud,
coming
are
out
you
from the
invisible or
Kai'Sa
not?
is really kicking in as well. There's plenty of AP in that build at this stage. Arya's low. Feather Storm. Shun dies at the backline.
No, I
He's
didn't
got the
think so.
Dustblade, so he gets away with it as well.
Oi,
The
that almost
snipe
killed.
is just a millimeter wide.
Okay, DFM are
CFO
trash.
straight
DFM
up
are straight
flexing
trash.
of DFM right
Like,
now.
I don't know what I
This
just witnessed.
is a masterclass, and it's beautiful to witness. Jimmy and dived on by Steel, but the Nexus towers are getting low. Apperman desperately diving forwards, using his
Wait, no,
ultimate
don't
to
end. We need
buy
more
space
Drakes.
for the squad, and he might just have kept this game alive.
Yo, get another dragon. Get another dragon. Get another dragon.
Just walking
Get another dragon.
straight down the map
Yo.
as a team playing poke,
Stack 'em
playing
up.
Blitzcrank hooks, and DFM just completely scattered. No. Okay.
I mean,
was
CFO
about to
are
say,
playing
those
really well.
recalls are about to get
Their bot lane is
canceled, and
insanely
there's
good.
about to be a hook straight out of that brush. So, good thing they used the far side alteration, but now you don't have that again, and you don't know where this Blitzcrank is.
You know, until he literally had vanished off my screen.
Mods,
I was
mods,
so
mods,
ready
mods,
for
mods,
Shouty
mods,
to go
mods,
for
mods,
Rogue
mods.
there. They are going to reset. Drake is up on the map, so they move on to get towards Soul Point.
DFM, no chance to leave their base and fight for it. At this point, best option for DFM is, hey, there's super minions coming in top lane and mid lane. That means we get a lot of experience really, really fast. Cannon minions every way, big EXP off of those supers. That's the only chance they have. And again, I am full on coping. They are down 13,000 gold. But that's the only thing you can tell yourself, because as DFM, you're already down 1-0. You are looking like being put on your last legs here in the tournament. Not over if you lose this series, but there's no more breathing room after that.
Certainly isn't. But CFO, I mean, I'm so pleased to see the performance they're coming in with and the sheer calm with which we're witnessing it. Like, they know what they're doing. They've got comfort picks. And also, Shao Krang kind of reminding
Wait, he has Imperial Mandate on Rumble.
Guys,
I think he's just trolling, right? Or
there is
what?
nothing ironic about those bans anymore. Like, it's straight up like, you have to respect this, or you have to have a plan on how you're going to deal with it, because he's just
is the game just that one, or is it OP?
Gemini gonna drop the ult.
Cheap item, good stats.
That's a TP flank, but they're just going into your base.
We're TPing in. Guys, we're flanking. Don't die. We're almost there. And I've arrived.
Aria finally arrives, but he's 1v5. Unipon alongside him, though. Chelsea wide on the hook. Shuriken lands. Do you really want to go in on that?
Fuck it.
Yes, you do, because look at the damage coming out of
Fucking
Unipon.
ball.
Just
Just sends it.
They are unstoppable.
Okay, DFM just got trashed.
They've gone 2-0 in their first series at Worlds, and they are
That's
here
crazy.
to make a statement in 2023.
Picking PSG over DFM? Picking DFM over CFO? What's wrong with that? I thought DFM were supposed to be good. I don't know anything about playing teams.
Game 1 took it slow,
I'm gonna be honest.
Objectives. Game 2, anything but. From the early gank down on the bot side to then just rolling over DFM.
Apparently CFO is pretty good. But this team is the team that lost to PSG, right? In the finals, in 5-game series. And they just stomped DFM, and PSG looked kind of weird yesterday.
That they're more than that. They wanted to prove.
So,
that,
hold up.
They may have lost that
what
final,
is going on in this
place?
place?
Might as well be a
Alright, boys, it's time for BDS. Everyone focus up.
That final went. And I think they've really proven that here. You know, coming in once again, this is not their first international.
Time for
and
BDS.
It doesn't feel like their first international the way they're playing.
No, absolutely not. I was really impressed.
It does the way that they're lighting up on stage.
Yeah. The walkout's also a little bit of a letdown. It was a little serious for my liking, but hey, serious walkout, serious playing the server. It all lines up for them. On the opposite side, DFM, disappointing way to start it off. Of course, with Appleman coming back in and Udapon swapping back to the preferred position of AD carry. We hadn't seen this roster yet play professionally.
Get us into the BDS series.
Hurdle they have to get over, and now they are going to be sent down with it all on the line in the games to come.
Yeah, into that lower bracket. We'll see if they can survive.
Was that the little Naruto run? Was that what he was trying to go for?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I thought it was like a bit of a roar at the camera, but you know what?
Oh, the Yankos. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Like
oh, yeah, maybe it was Yankos.
Yeah, it was like if Yankos,
G2
instead
jersey.
of being a lion, was like a little house cat.
Yeah.
It was a really nice roar. Yeah.
Great to see, though, that not only CFO looking fantastic in the game, they're starting to feel it on the stage as
like
well
right when we ask for it,
BDS
here comes the
time,
fun. You know,
Adam
now
time.
that the business side of things is over, they can have a sweet time. And look, Xiaoxi had a phenomenal time.
Isn't
in
I
that game.
Blitzcrank
The
banned?
hooks were
Yeah, it is
absolutely
banned,
on
but
point. The play inside of the fog of war.
it is banned, but
I don't want to be
no,
in
it's
the
not
game
banned.
playing
It was
against
banned,
that.
but it's not
Keep
banned
me
anymore.
away. I don't want any part.
No. Unless you have complete and utter vision control, like, you just got to ban the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, which they never did, because it's an Umbral Glaive Kaisa. Like, how do you play?
I don't know. After the break, we'll see the LEC team BDS enter the world stage.
The BDS shirt,
to their mid laner Nuke about his world's debut in the latest episode of Oppo Welcome to the Rift.